Prediction time, Manchester United up against West Ham, and I feel like this is going to be the game where we either look back on it and say, that's when we bottled top four, or it could be when we turned things around, and I'm hoping it is the latter. But obviously we still got to be wary of West Ham despite their position on the table. They love to play direct with their fullbacks nice and high, and Aaron Cresswell is one of those players. He's also a major threat on set pieces as well that we got to look out for. As for our own attacking firepower, I really can't confidently point to any player and say they're going to be the match winner other than Marcus Rashford, and that's because our squad depth is just not great, and that's why Erik ten Hag is being criticised for his in-game management at times. But I'm hoping we can pull off a win here, so I'm going to predict a 1-0 victory for United.
What's going on, everyone? Nick here from Real Red Talk to give you my score prediction for today's game against West Ham away. Now, typically when we play West Ham, it's always a bit of a scrappy game, back and forth, 1-0s, not many goals in it, and I think it's going to be the same, especially away from home, because we're dreadful away from home. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 to Manchester United, and who scores? I mean, it could go off the back of Maguire's calf, for all I care. As long as we get the 3 points, that's important for top four. So make sure you all enjoy the game and subscribe to Stretford Paddock and smash a like on the video. Peace.
Prediction for tonight, I think after Brighton it is really important Man United bounce back, and United, they've been great at bouncing back this season when results haven't gone their way, but one of the issues, as we've seen, has been away from home against the top 9. Tonight it's against West Ham. They've lost 3 in a row. It is away, but I can't see anything but a Man United victory tonight. I'm going to go at 3-0, and I think Garnacho, apparently he's back in the squad, could be useful off the bench if it isn't as comprehensive as a 3-0. If it's 0-0, I think he'd be a great player to bring off the bench.
What's happening, Paddock? Sam from Real Red Talk. Check us out on YouTube if you fancy a bit of United content. Here with my score prediction for today for Manchester United against West Ham. I'm not confident with this one. I think away form's been poor. West Ham always like to play cagey and it's never a fun game. I'm going for a 0-0 draw, but I really hope I'm wrong on this one.
Ross Murphy and my Paddock matchday predictions. Manchester United take on West Ham at the London Stadium. Ten Hag, I reckon he might play the same team, or maybe Christian Eriksen might be coming back into the side. He will want a reaction from the players after that midweek loss. And hopefully we come out of the London Stadium with 3 points. My score prediction for the game, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Manchester United win. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to Stretford Paddock, and as always, come on United.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the West Ham Watchalong, and joining me are two absolute giants of the Man United fan base. We've got Mr. David Scott. How are we doing?
I like to be referred to as a giant.
It's not very often it happens, is it? But
well,
you
don't
are.
mind me. You else will probably get on my height.
We've also got Adam Clare here. This has got to be your sort of first video on the channel for a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's my hat trick. It's my third one.
This your third one?
I think it is.
And your first one was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably going back 2 years now.
Right, we'll need to rectify that.
It's
an own goal. Oh, sorry. We've got the Newcastle and Arsenal game on. So if you hear screaming in the background, that'll be producer Ethan, who's a Geordie. And Arsenal have just got a second goal. I think it was an own goal there. I don't know who by, but we'll get into that in a minute, because obviously that's secondary to the Manchester United team news, which is out now. Make sure you are getting involved in the chat and the comments. The team news out. I'm going to go through it as it's written down on the United app, so forgive me if this is all upside down. De Gea, Lindelof, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Malacia, Eriksen, Casemiro, Anthony, Luke Shaw, Wout Weghorst and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. On the bench, we've got Butland, Dalot, Maguire, Williams, Fred, Sabitzer, Garnacho, Martial and Sancho. So, from the game the other day at Brighton, it's, if my maths are right, or my workings out, Dalot, Martial, and is that who else? Oh, Fred dropping out. Is that right? Yeah. And Eriksen, Malacia, and Weghorst coming in.
Interesting.
I had Weghorst in my predicted 11 for the preview. I just thought he might go with him because of his energy, his effort, and all that stuff. Not his goals, obviously, Scotty. What do you make of that team? Initial reaction?
I'm happy that Anthony Martial's not on the pitch. To be honest, you talk about like energy and fight for the for the shirt and the team. Martial's just lacking it and has been for a long time. I wouldn't want to see him anywhere in the United start 11 again. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think he's covered himself in any glory with the injury to Marcus Rashford, and us being weak up front in the absence of Marcus. He's not taken it by the mantle and gone on to score goals. So I don't think he's got a future at the club. Doesn't seem to be asked when he's on the pitch. And I just think it's embarrassing when a player that can't get into Burnley's 11 has come in and stolen your place at Manchester United after being there 5 years. And there doesn't need to be any more evidence than that is no good.
Will you stop sitting on the fence? I'm sick of it. Give us your opinion for once.
I'm impartial for the
Oh
BBC.
my God, hopefully you'll be a bit more emphatic. You'll tell us what you really think. Adam, do you agree with Scotty, or have you still got life in your hope of Andy Martial FC
I don't
carrying
think so.
on?
He seems like he's never, obviously for a striker you want him to be in the right place, right time.
Yeah.
He never is.
Okay.
Wout's not the best replacement, but he's got more that striker ability.
Yeah.
The presence in the box. But I'm glad he started. He works hard, doesn't he?
I liked Svegos when he came on against Brighton in the FA Cup, and the guy gives you a lot. He tries his best, like you say. He's got a ceiling. There's a reason he was not just we got him from Burnley. Burnley didn't want him. Yeah. He was already on loan from Burnley at Besiktas. So there's a reason for that. I know Burnley are doing well in the Championship, but let's be realistic here. He should be getting into their team if he's got any aspirations of playing for Manchester United regular.
Yeah, but like I said, Weghorst has got a ceiling, but Andy Martial can't be asked getting off the floor.
No,
that's the difference between
fair
the two
analogy.
players.
The thing I will say, Martial, and I kind of I made this argument the other day because someone was saying, I can't remember if it was McCullough or it might have been Joe, saying, or Stephen, that they didn't see United going out in the summer and getting 2 strikers. So they actually thought, because Weghorst doesn't get you any goals, that Martial might get another season almost by default because you can't go out and buy Harry Kane and another. I disagree. I think you can go out and get 2 strikers. I think many teams have done it. We've done it historically. If you need 2 strikers, you can go out and do that. And I think with Martial, there's always been question marks about his effort and things like that. But I also think he's lost something with these injuries. I just think whether it's psychological, it doesn't look like he's up for it at all. So I don't know. Get involved in the chat and the comments. You may disagree. Happy to hear from anyone. Paul Simpson, welcome to the Academy. Thanks for your support. We do have a members section with extra content over there if you want to go and check that out. Paul Jones says, well said, Scotty. Martial is a lazy, can't be arsed, waste of space. Get rid. Claire Heffer says, Weghorst to score today. Surely it's time. Do you know what? I say that almost every game, to be honest with you, but hopefully he will. David O'Connor says, I will always question any manager that picks Weghorst. I don't care what anyone says. Hands down, the worst striker ever to wear a United jersey. Well, some of us of an older age will argue on that one. I've seen some duffers from Manchester United, even compared to Weghorst, honestly. I think he does bring something to the team, rather than nothing, which is, I think, the point you're making about Andy Martial right now. Nick Newman says Martial should have gone 5 years ago. He's not having any of it in the last 5 years. I mean, it is a funny one with Martial, and I think that it says it all, really, that he's come back from these injuries. We've been waiting for him for ages. We wanted to see, I wanted to see him, Anthony and Rashford together. We've seen enough of it for the managers to go, this ain't working. And he ain't going to drop the £100 million man, who's actually looked quite decent over the last couple of months, and he ain't going to drop your top scorer. I just want to talk about Marcus Rashford a little bit, because there's so much on his shoulders at the minute, isn't there? In terms of goals, in terms of being the match winner. He has tailed off a little bit in terms of his goals. I think it's 2 in his last 8 in the Premier League, which, compared to his high standards this season, isn't very prolific. Are you concerned, Scotty, we're so reliant on Marcus for the goals at the minute? Because our goal scoring record is nothing short of abysmal. And he can hold his head high because he's got 15 or 16 Premier League goals, plus another 13 in all comps. But he's doing the heavy lifting, isn't he?
He certainly is. Yeah, I'm worried with the games coming thick and fast, and obviously with the Scousers on our tail maybe overtaking us in the top 4 about how reliant we are on him. But that's been the tale all season, and that's why the frustration comes out about Martial and again without Weghorst. But you want your players behind the strikers to start scoring more goals. Yeah. If you look at Arsenal, City are a great example. Even though they've got Haaland that's breaking records, the rest of the team chip in with goals all round.
So annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's
so annoying. Honestly, they bring on brought on Phil Foden the other day. I was watching a bit of the I can't remember, was it the West Ham game? He comes on, scores. You think, but Gundogan, I forgot he was even there. I know he plays a lot for him. I just forgot about him, and he gets a brace. I mean, it's
Alvarez, who they've got.
Yeah,
he's the second backup striker. He's just as good.
40 million they paid for him, and he's I think he's pretty reliable in terms of goals.
I'm more worried about United strikers than they are the defence. Obviously, when Varane and Martinez got injured in the same game, and a lot of us are thinking we're going to start hemorrhaging goals. And we've not looked as good with them two, but if you look at the other end of the pitch, I'm more worried about scoring goals than I am conceding them.
We've had a striker problem for 3-4 years, and haven't we? You know, you look at, we had Igalo for a little while. We've not really found that replacement of.
No, we've gone
probably
short term,
Rooney, to be honest.
Yeah. Like almost every striker's been a 2-year maximum, haven't they? Other than Lukaku, I think Zlatan, Igalo, Ronnie, Cavani. There's not been one where you go.
Short-term fixes, haven't
That's
they?
you know, post other than Lukaku, post Fergie, where you go. That's a striker who's going to be here for the next 5 years. I know Lukaku wasn't, but I thought he would have been with his age and everything. Give us your score predictions as well and let us know what you think. Scott, you did a tweet before that we're nicking, much to your anger, where you asked the question. What was the question you asked? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll give my Twitter handle first before I do that.
All right, okay.
Arkid, ARGH Kid, put this tweet out earlier on.
Yep.
And I found out that they were using it on the show
and
20 seconds before. I was
you
very happy
launched
about it
into
as
what
well.
can only be described as a diatribe against me.
A diatribe. I was like bringing out your big journalist words.
Listen.
A rant.
Hey, I went to uni and everything, me, twice. Yeah, you were... You're a bit offended that we're using it, but
I wasn't offended.
We're still going to use it. So go on, tell us what you're asking.
Yeah, so I was posing a hypothetical question to United fans. If you could sacrifice top 4 but guarantee winning the FA Cup and all that goes with it, if you're a bitter and twisted fan like I am, would you accept it?
That's a good question. I think John Bradley replied to you, didn't he, from Game of Thrones fame. And I think he made a good point and said a lot might depend on what happens in the Champions League. Because if United winning the FA Cup stops them doing the treble, then I'll say, I don't care if we get relegated. I want that FA Cup. Like, we've got to stop them. That is the be-all and end-all for me. And I don't care how sad that sounds. I'm being honest. I cannot bear them doing the treble and beating us in the FA Cup final along the way. However, if Real Madrid do a number on him, I'd be not happy, but I can accept not winning the FA Cup if it means if it was a choice. I'd rather be watching Champions League football next season. Personally, what's your take?
If let's say City win the Champions League, does their position get passed down to 5th?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
It didn't happen. It happened once with Liverpool in 2005, where Everton finished 4th and both Liverpool, because they weren't going to get it. Liverpool, the winners didn't get it.
Right.
But they changed the rules for that season, so both Everton and Liverpool went into the Champions League next season. But as far as I know, please, correct me if I'm wrong, and by all means, get involved in the comments. And anyone on the production desk wants to double check. I don't think I don't think there's a scenario where English teams get 5 teams in Europe in Champions League. I don't think that happens, no matter what.
As much as I don't want City to win the treble, we all want the same. I think trophy's a priority for us.
Yeah.
I think if we've got the Capital One Cup, whatever you want to call it. Getting the FA Cup, it shows a great season. So, you know what?
The Capital One Cup, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that Mickey Mouse Cup.
The Milk Cup, Littlewoods, eh?
You know what? I probably would, just to stop them winning that treble.
Yeah. I mean, it's a grim scenario, but it's one we could be faced with.
It could happen.
Do you see what Wayne Rooney said about the City Real Madrid game? Wayne Rooney, I love Wayne Rooney. He's one of my favourite ever Manchester United players. Sometimes in interviews, he does come out with things, and I wonder whether he's trolling, messing about, or just don't care. But he said that not only will City beat Real Madrid, they'll blow them away. And he said that if they win the league and the Premier League, the league and the Champions League, they'll be up there with the 99 team, and they'll be better, I think, than the 08 team. I think he said, which was a slightly bizarre thing to say when you're a United legend. And I don't care when anyone says Wayne Rooney is. Just look at the stats and what he's done. But yeah, he's confident. Well, not confident. I don't know if that's the right word, but he thinks that that Real Madrid are going to get turned over by City. What do you reckon in that game? Have you seen much of Madrid this season?
Didn't they win the cup yesterday?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I think
so destroy them is what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, Ancelotti is one of the greatest managers of all time. Hands down. I think if we're putting Pep up against another manager, Ancelotti is a great pragmatist in terms of the way he wants to play football. Be interesting with the Haaland situation because Pep always seems to. He messes around with his team and gets to the semi-final and final. Something happens
Cocked
within
up a few
Pep's
times,
head, like some wiring goes loose. So we're hoping that can happen. Real Madrid have done it before, and I think they were quite fortunate. But all our hopes until we have to rely on Wout Weghorst at Wembley, rely on Karim Benzema. It's a great Real Madrid team, you know. You can't they're there for a reason.
It's been there for a few years, hasn't it? You know, they've proved they can still do it. That midfield three of what is it, Modric,
Cruz. Is it Cruz and Tchouaméni? Or I think 'cause he played Camavinga at left back, doesn't he?
Yeah, they've got. It's a weird team because the half of them are really are quite mid-30s and the other half are early 20s.
Yeah, I think Vinicius Junior could be the key for me. If Real Madrid, he's been
him
outstanding.
Against Kyle Walker.
Yeah, he's such a fantastic player, Vinicius Junior. I think he's just up there with any
I think it'll be a
in the
close
world.
game.
I really do. I know that's not exactly a revelation, but
that's City second, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
So we'd have we need Madrid to get,
because you remember last season, they sort of at one point it looked like City were going to just absolutely steamroll them.
They kept the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then they sort of weathered the storm a bit. Madrid, I think they got on sort of. Did they get a goal or got a lifeline? And then in Madrid, City were flying again. But City, I know they've been to a final, they've been to semi-finals and quarterfinals, but it was almost like some of the players, the lack of experience just showed when you just got to see that game out and they kept going for it and missed the chances. And I think Jack Grealish and Phil Foden. I think it was Jack Grealish actually missed a chance. And then obviously Real Madrid did what they needed to do. Like you say, under Ancelotti, they always do. Just on Ancelotti, do you think he does get overlooked a little bit in this conversation as the GOAT? Do you think he should be up there?
I think he definitely should be up there. You know, look at all the
teams obviously
he's managed.
Fergie is the GOAT. I don't think it would argue about. But his record, Ancelotti's, is ridiculous.
He's the only one of managers to win the Champions League at 3 different clubs.
I mean, that's unreal, isn't it? And like even like in the leagues, he's done well, hasn't he? Like he's won. He's won
the Bundesliga.
He's won the Premier League. He's won the Serie A, La Liga, and he was at Paris Saint-Germain for a season, wasn't he? Or 2 seasons.
He must have won the league.
Of course he did. Won it by Christmas.
Yeah. More impressed if he didn't.
Yeah. Do you ever ask yourself what the hell was he doing at Everton? It's so like.
Well, when that happened, and I got trolled to shit on Twitter because I said United should be going for Ancelotti when we had Solskjaer as manager, and everyone was like, no. Ollie in.
Why would you want a multi-Champions League winning?
I was told he was past it, and then I think it was the same season.
Was that to Madrid 6 seasons since then? He's won 2 more Champions Leagues or whatever. I think you can count that in the win column, Scotty. Jay Frasconi in the Super Chat says, one thing is certain about this possible Manchester City treble. If they win it, every City fan in the world will instantly declare this team better than United's team in 07-08, which makes me sick. Everyone does that anyway. Liverpool can finish 3rd and they'll say this is the greatest Premier League team we've ever seen. City have always been saying that. So Hendrick, says, Jay, you know your history. City is going to do another treble, which is annoying as fuck. Winning the league with under 18, under 21 in the Premier League, has that ever happened before? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. One thing we'll say about, if we're going to talk about trebles, no team will ever do it like we did with about 5 academy graduates in the starting 11. That's not going to happen again. I know it had happened before. I think Celtic and teams like that and Barca have done it before, but you ain't going to see you're certainly not going to see a Premier League team do that, and City aren't going to. So that's one little nugget we can hold on to, and to be honest with you, I'll hold on to anything. 5 minutes left in the Newcastle-Arsenal game. 2-0 up, Arsenal. What do you make of this sort of Scouse renaissance, if we can call it that? Are you worried? Concerned?
I'm concerned more for that it's in our hands, because I think the form that we've got, and today feels like a cup game, you know.
Yeah.
I think if we win, I think we'll only need one more win with the remaining games. Yeah. But if we lose, and what are we 2 points behind them? They win another game and go above, and then we're chasing them.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that situation. And it's like you were talking before, like goal difference.
How
far below us were they for a long time?
Yeah.
Like, how can we be 4th and what have we got minus?
Our goal difference is 9, which is, I mean, Spurs' goal difference is 7 in 6th. Brighton's is plus 22 in 7th. That just shows you. Obviously, the Scouts have got a massive advantage with the result they had against us. So goal difference, forget that. Points-wise, at the minute, as it stands, we've played 33 games, we're on 63. They've played 35 games, they're on 62. So it's in our hands. I was discussing this with producer Ethan before. I was saying I can personally see the Scousers winning the rest of their games this season. They've got
3 games, haven't they, left?
They've got 3 games. I think they've won the last 6, I think. They've got Leicester away. Now, Leicester are not doing very well this season, to say the least. They've got Villa at home. Villa are a good team, but I still think that Liverpool at home, you'd put... If it was at Villa Park, I'd actually fancy Villa to get some out of that. I think they can do them at Anfield, though. So I'm not too confident of Villa getting anything out of that, but you never know with Unai Emery, to be fair. And then the last game, Southampton away. Southampton are probably going to be done by that.
I think they've done it already, aren't they?
They are. I think that's going to be just more, they've got nothing to play for. Yes, you can always turn up and sort of give your fans one last swan song, but the golfing quality there, I think, is going to
Especially if Liverpool have got a sniff that they can get top four.
I mean, I don't see Southampton, no disrespect to them, doing anything there. So, for me...
That's 9 points.
Yeah, United have got to win. We've got to win 3 of the last of our remaining 5 games. Now, if you look at our fixtures, I don't know how to look at this. I know it in my head, but I'll look anyway. West Ham obviously today, Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, Fulham at home. You think there's 3 wins there? I actually think today is the one where we might lose. I'll be honest with you. I think today we could end up not getting anything out of it, but I think we'll win the last 4.
It's a knock-on effect, though, I think.
Do you think? I think I know what you mean about losing back-to-back games. I just think for Wolves at home, Eric Ten Hag can rally the troops, and he's quite good at that, to be honest.
Well, how many of our games are at home now? We got Wolves.
3.
3.
If we win all our own games, we're home and dry. But
I think it's Chelsea I'm more worried about than anything.
They got that first win, didn't they, under Lampard?
That's it. They're safe from relegation now.
Yeah, so that's
official.
Mad, that, isn't it? Like, how has that happened? They've finally got over the 40-point mark, which is sort of the golden mark that everyone talks about. Fulham at home could be tricky. I mean, you can always have a tricky game, can't you? Like, they're all a bit tricky, but I still fancy us for it. I think today, though, like you were saying, it is a bit of a cook game. I think if we win today, I think we're done.
Yeah, it's the manner we're playing football at the moment. How it happened for a long time is we don't dominate performances. Who's put a finger under Ethan?
Ethan's. We've had some emotions from Ethan today. Bless him. He's been put through the mill, and I've got in his head about Liverpool as well because Newcastle, if this stays the same and it's not done yet, Liverpool will be 3 points behind them, having played 1 game more. So
you never know.
Newcastle
might slip up even more than they are today, which really does help us out.
Newcastle have got Leeds away. I think Newcastle will win that. They've got Brighton at home. It's a tricky one, that. Brighton are a good team. Leicester at home, I'd expect them to win that. Chelsea away, it's not a given, but I'd expect them to win that. Mm-hmm. And then they're playing Rangers. Oh, that's in July. I was about to say, what the fuck is going on there? Hey, something going on here? Well,
They've won a bonus game.
Yeah, the Rangers are now in the Premier League just to give Newcastle an easy game at the end of the season. What a disgrace. So, yeah.
Well, Brighton are not far off. I don't think they're up for top 4, but they're definitely
they're
in contention for Europa League, aren't they? I think they've got a few games in hand over the
So, Brighton have got 2 games in hand on, well, let's say Newcastle, and they're 10 points behind them. So they've probably given themselves too much to do, haven't they?
But Brighton played Newcastle, that's the thing.
That's true. That could be a little bit of well, it is a 6-pointer. I think they've left it a little bit too late, Brighton, to be honest with you. It could happen, but it's everything's got to go their way and everything's got to go against Newcastle or us for that matter. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't see that happening. It'd be a great story if it did, if it's not United getting knocked out of the top 4.
You think it ends like that? Top 4?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that whilst I'm always a pessimist, I just feel that this manager, he can get a result out of this team at home, Ten Hag, and I think we will win our own games. And our home record's fantastic. Like, even against the top teams, we've beaten. I was saying this today, I've never seen such a disparity in any team, not just United, where you'll go away from home to certain teams and get battered and yet beat them at home. Usually it's like, teams will do the double off you if they...
Well, it was the opposite under Solskjaer, wasn't it?
Yeah,
our away record was decent. They couldn't do anything at home.
But it wasn't as bad as our away record. Our away record this season is horrible. Especially, is it the top 9 where we've lost 8 and drew 1 or whatever? I think everyone likes to throw that top 9 into it, don't they? A few people in the chat. Ijaz Ahmed says, rather get top 4 than 5th and F8, in my opinion. Rathan Sangoli says, Jay Motti, I want you to be happy today. I'll be happy if we win, my friend. Johnny Orbital says, 5th in FA Cup or top 4 secured. Ooh, that's what he says in the super chat. Make sure you are hitting that like button as well. Almost done at St James's. It's just sort of last few minutes of added time now. It's still 2-0 to Arsenal in a game that just about keeps their title chances alive, doesn't it? And gives Newcastle pause for thought in their top 4 race. I think City are going to win the league, unfortunately. I still think Newcastle will make top 4. Joshua Owen says, I'm worried about our attack this game. Yeah, if you're not joining us, you can see, if you just joined us, you can see the team there. On the bench, we have Marcel Sabitzer. Now, we did a tweet the other day, and I think it was Steve, did a comment on might have been the Brew, where he said he'd keep Sabitzer next season, and we put it out there on Twitter as a clip or on socials, and a lot of people were commenting saying they didn't agree and that they didn't think he'd done enough. I was a bit surprised. I thought that he was quite... I've mentioned it in my news a couple of times about him maybe getting another deal, and the response has been usually positive on the whole. Adam, I'll ask you first. What do you make of Sabitzer staying next season? Would you be up for that or against it?
I would, obviously, depending on price. I think before we signed him, we probably should have put a clause in there. I think we could have got him for maybe 20-30 mil. It's probably going to go up now if we do want to get him back. He's not set the world alight, but he's been a really steady squad player. If you look at likes of City and Arsenal, they've got these players on the bench that they can bring on and do just as good a job as the 11 are playing. Yeah. So to keep him would be, I think, very positive for us, as long as we're not paying too much for him.
Yeah. Scotty, what do you make of Sabitzer?
The rumours about 18 million, wasn't there? That was the price that was touted around if we are going to buy him. I think when you look at him as a loan player, and if we're going to buy him, is he going to be better than anything that we've got currently within that part? And I think he is. As McTominay's been there a long time, but I think he's reached his ceiling as to where he can be at United, and whether his ambitions are to go, play full time, week in, week out for a club. Fred's hitting 30, and they're players that can come in and have great games, but more often than not, they're getting you less than a 7. Whereas Sabitzer, I think, just since he started in January, has been a 7 pretty much every game he's played. I've not seen him had a complete howler. No. He's steady, isn't he? I don't think he's a starting player, but like I said, you need that sort of depth within your squad if you are going to progress.
For 18 mil, I didn't realise that was the price.
It's all kicking off at St James's as well, as you'd expect.
Newcastle been putting the pressure on their last 10 minutes, but they're just seeing out now.
Just a bit of pushing and shoving there. Jay Frasconi, also in an earlier super chat, forgive me, I've missed this one, who's been a member of the Academy for 8 months, says, good afternoon, boys. With Newcastle in trouble today, let's have a 3-0 win today and go third. How about a Weghorst hat-trick to do the job? Well, that'd be amazing if he scored more goals than he has in his entire United career in one afternoon.
Has he ever scored a hat-trick?
Has he ever scored? I presume he has. He's got a brace in the World Cup quarter-finals, didn't he? Came on and scored a brace in 2 minutes. What's going on there? I mean, I know there's different levels in the World Cup, but that was against the eventual World Cup winners as well. What is going on?
He had a bit of form at Besiktas, 8 in 16 before he came to United.
Andy Tate shouting at me. He had a bit of form at Besiktas. I think it was 8. Was it 8 in 16? Yeah. I thought it was better than that, but so he I mean, I don't know.
He knows where the net is then.
I know. I don't know. I imagine he scored a hat trick. There you go. He scored a hat trick. Scrolled back up. Sorry, was that Hoffenheim against Wolfsburg? So there you go.
The way around.
For Wolfsburg against Hoffenheim. So listen, if he can do it for Wolfsburg against Hoffenheim, he can do it for Manchester United against West Ham.
Are you worried about West Ham? They've not won this.
Hello, is that West Ham?
Yeah. Well, this is like the 4th game on the bounce if they get beat, isn't it? They do seem to be in free fall. That sort of stat is United always tend to help you out.
I was going to say, when it comes to us, we like to flip the stats round, don't we?
Yeah.
But I'm confident for today. I am.
Are you really? Yeah,
I am. I think I'm going to say 2-0.
Should we have a look at the West Ham team? Actually, that's a good point because West Ham had a few players out for the City game. They had a stomach bug going around apparently. So they were missing, I think it was Declan Rice, Thomas Souček and the kid Aguerd was out with this bug. Just looking at the West Ham starting 11, you've got Fabianski, Kehrer, Ogbonna, Aguerd, Cresswell, Rice, Souček, Paqueta, Ben Rama, Bowen and Antonio. So they're all back, the lads that missed the City game. On the bench you've got Areola, Anang, Johnson, Fornals, Lanzini, Downs, Corner, Ings and Emerson. So I think, unless I'm mistaken, they're pretty much back to full strength. One thing I will say about West Ham is I watched them against Palace and they scored 2 almost carbon copy goals at set pieces. Souček on the near post, he flicks it on. And then I think there was the 2 different goals. I think it was Aguerd and I can't remember who the other lad was who scored in that game, but they basically got 2 goals just from doing the same thing at set pieces. That worries me a little bit because at set pieces we're all over the gaff, both going forward and defensively. To be honest with you,
I thought Maguire might get a nod today for
that's
that
what
idea.
Joe said, that for the aerial threat to deal with that. Yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me. I think that sort of says a lot, doesn't it? When we've got
I know, but I think with
players
what
out
against
and
Brighton,
he's still not getting in.
If Ten Hag drops Shaw after the Brighton game, I thought Shaw, despite what happened at the end, he was the best player on the pitch. I thought he was.
Well, we got matched up with Dunk for corners. I think he won a couple headers against Dunk. He's an absolute giant, isn't he? So
he does play. I know Maguire's usually on left, but he does play him on the right as well, doesn't he? So
I think to keep the same 2 centre backs is the right decision there.
Yeah, I didn't have my prediction. I had the same centre backs. Yeah, I think it would have made sense if Maguire came in, but
even Lindelof's
I would prefer to see the team we've got out today. To be honest,
Lindelof's been solid since he's made the comeback. I suppose he seems very calm on the ball, which is what when he's got Maguire next to him, he doesn't seem as calm, but
nobody does around him.
Well, that's true.
We'll talk to you about Tyrone Malacia. He's come in. We've got him at left back, Wan-Bissaka at right back. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for Malacia this season. I thought he played very well when he first came into the team against Liverpool at home and I think it was at Southampton, Leicester away. He had a good little run. Has had a couple of moments, shall we say, of Sevilla at home being the obvious one. What have you made of him so far, Scotty, in his debut season at Manchester United?
I think for a new player coming into a club at his age, into a new league, I don't think we should be too critical. When he first started and the performances that he had and the energy, a lot of us got excited, as we do as United fans, when new signing. Luke Shaw's better watch out for his place, and as you expect, he sort of ran out of steam. And I think Luke Shaw's benefited actually from the threat that Malacia offered at the beginning. And then he sort of went off the boil. I thought he had a decent game against Villa the other week. He seems quite naive in his positioning. I think there's been opportunities this season where he could have read the game a little bit better and just taking men down in ridiculous positions. The Seville game in particular just seemed a little bit, there was a lot of out of position and not being able to read the game. But that comes with age. What is he, 21, 22?
Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you exactly how old he is. Sorry, I'm not.
But I don't think it's been a disaster by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't think he's had a shocking game.
23.
Yeah,
so he's still a young lad.
Even still,
he's still young.
I think what Ten Hag likes to do is push his full-backs into midfield, like Pep. I don't think he's really adapted to that just yet, but I think that will come. Getting a nod to start today will.
Miles makes a point. Malacia is leaps and bounds more dependable than Tellez, a marked improvement to our overall squad. I also think that there is a correlation between having an option at left back and Luke Shaw improving. I don't know, something about that. He just seems to help him. And don't forget as well, Luke Shaw, after that difficult first couple of games, was rested for Malacia and then came back as good as he's ever been.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's whether it's he needs someone just challenging him for space, whether he needs a breather now and again, whatever it is. Luke Shaw just tends to do better when there's someone else vying for that spot, because we've seen a few players sort of keep Luke Shaw out of the team, haven't we, at certain points over the last few seasons. Remember, I've been Brandon Williams having a run in the team when Luke Shaw was on the bench. Alex Tellez obviously was brought in, made his debut against West Ham, I think, away, funnily enough. So it has happened, and now we're seeing Tyrone Malacia, but he's definitely, got a ceiling. We've said that a few times, but I like the kid. He tries his best, and like you say, Scott, his first season as well. You can't be too harsh. I mean, I'm not comparing him, but anyone remembers Everett's first season? He was all over the gaff, wasn't he? Everyone was like, "Who's this guy? Like, how's this guy got to a Champions League final with Monaco? What's going on here?" And obviously, turned it around massively, but it can be quite difficult coming into the United team when you've been at Feyenoord. So yeah, I think he's a good squad player, and obviously he's been utilised quite a lot this season to generally good effect. people still chatting about Weghorst. It seems to be a hot topic. We've got Andy Tate in the building. He was shouting out before, so we'll get him on in a minute. We'll get his thoughts. Eriksen returning to the side. Scotty, I'll start with you. You're a big fan of Christian Eriksen. How important do you think he's been for us this season and could be today?
I think that we didn't realise how well Eriksen was playing for us until he got injured.
I agree.
Until Andy Carroll went through him and should have never
don't get me started. Fucking
again.
joke.
It's terrible. But he's just so... It looks effortless with Eriksen, the way he plays football.
Yeah.
And I think with that, you don't get the plaudits for it. It's never just one supreme ball. It's just he's more of an artist in the way he sort of plays. Plays his game and goes about his business. But I think he's integral as a free between Casemiro, Fernandes, and Eriksen. That free, if they had better players around them, I think we'd be doing a lot more better in the league. It's such a unit that I don't think there's many. Compare that to the other midfielders in the league.
I think it's up there, isn't it? 100% agree. I think that. We've gone from...
His age is probably against them, if anything. Casemiro 30.
Yeah.
Eriksen 31.
I think Casemiro's 30. Is he 31 now, isn't he? Just turned 31, I think. So yeah, you're right. But it works, doesn't it? Because you've got Casemiro who likes to sit. You've got Bruno who's like the Energizer Bunny, and you've got Eriksen who can obviously pick out a pass, and his assist rate is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. He knows the passes he's going to make. Three passes before, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He makes us tick. He's very calm on the ball, and I think in this squad coming towards the end of the season now, he's integral to the team.
And I think with the rumours about Harry Kane as well, because obviously Eriksen and Kane have played together previously. That'd be a nice link up next season.
I hope so.
He doesn't rely on pace, Eriksen. Do you know what I mean? No. He's not that sort of player.
Sorry, I was being told to mute my laptop there. I was making all sorts of noises.
Producer Ethan telling you off because his team got beat.
He's sulking now.
Oh.
He says, Jay, you might need to mute your laptop, you fucking red bastard. Wow. Hey, well, Ash. Do you know what I mean? Don't take it out of me.
Surprised you can see all his glasses are steamed up.
Exactly. It's funny watching Ethan get angry.
Look at that look!
Because he's such a nice lad. He is. He's the sort of lad you want your daughter bringing home. And yet, when he gets angry, it's almost comical. No offence, Ethan. He was getting really...
I could break a pencil.
Yeah, I could crush a grape.
Was that a Geordie accent?
No, it was. That was
Yorkshire.
You won't remember Cracker Jack, will you? Was it Stu Francis? I could rip a tissue. Ten Hag has been quoted. Says the last 15-20 minutes against Brighton was really bad. So I think this is from the other day. Really bad performance. They are not our standards, so we have to get back to our high standards. We have to go back to our high standards, and you have to do it always, every game, all 11. Speaking a lot of sense there, Erik ten Hag. Another little sidebar as well. First of all, happy birthday to Norman Whiteside. It's his birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday to Norman.
Big up Whiteside, who has all sorts of records. He's the youngest player in the World Cup. Youngest player to ever be booked in a World Cup, which was about 12 minutes after he became the youngest player to be in a World Cup, if memory serves, and loads of United records as well. Just a fantastic player for the Reds, and a great guy as well. We've all worked with him, and he's just a top bloke. David De Gea is making his 540th appearance for United, overtaking Alex Stepney for the most appearances for a goalkeeper in our history. Just before we hear from Andy Tate, I'll ask you what you make of De Gea staying on. Do you want to see him put pen to paper and become our keeper for the next few years, or is it time to move on?
We spoke about this last time I was on the pod,
right?
And I think I got quite slated when I was sticking by him, saying we should keep him.
Right.
I mean, he's been fantastic this season. I think he will still be top clean sheets in the league, won't he? I think to keep him on next season is the right decision. I think we still need to get a keeper to replace him that we can trickle him into the team. But yeah, his record says it all. He's the best shot stopper in the world. And I'll always stick by him.
You're sticking
always
by that spectacularly wrong opinion. I'm not joking.
Wow. Only his third time on the show, isn't it?
So we hear from someone who's not been drinking all day. No, I'm joking.
I was drinking all yesterday.
Adam MUFC makes a good point. Where do you stand on him? Because I don't think, for me, I've never questioned David De's shot stopping really. It's can he play in this system? Is he the right guy for Ten Hag, the way you want to play out the back? That's the question I think is that needs answering.
I think the budget will dictate whether De Gea signs next season. Because whilst I think we need a new goalkeeper moving forward with the progressive way football is with goalkeepers playing out from the back, and that is definitely a limitation on De Gea's ability. I don't think that's a necessity that we're going to need next season. I think a striker, and I think a goalkeeper probably costs you as much as a number 9 would, really, because of the premium, that they come with. So I think he'll stay just on that. What 504? I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. 540 appearances, that's phenomenal, really. The greatest ever, appearances for a Manchester United keeper. Is that right?
Yeah.
That says it all, really.
Yeah.
Great shot stopper. The thing is with De Gea is he can equally pull out one of the best saves ever, but he can also make a comical mistake.
Yeah,
he's always, susceptible to being a little bit Mr. Bean between the posts.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 6 players above him now in appearances for Manchester United. And we're going to hear from Andy, so we'll get Andy to say... So Andy, do us a favour, bring that drink that's on the table with you, please, bro. The Fanta. It was just fancy. I know he's not. He's doing me a favour. As I said, please. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tate.
Holding this joint.
So that'll never happen. So the top six. There's 6 players above David De Gea in terms of appearances for Manchester United, according to Wikipedia, and I'm taking a pun that he's right. Wayne Rooney, Gary Neville, Bill Foulkes, Paul Scholes, Bobby Charlton, and Ryan Giggs. So he's right up there, and he's above the likes of Tony Dunn, Dennis Irwin, and now goes above Alex Stepney. So an absolutely phenomenal record in terms of appearances. And do you expect to see David De Gea between the sticks next season?
Yeah, I do. But I'm not impressed with him. Just after that debacle with Sevilla, really, he saves the half bacon so many times. You have to respect him, and he's still in with a chance at a Golden Glove. I mean, I heard that the other week from you. It's crazy.
It's bizarre, that, isn't it?
It's bizarre.
Our goal difference is +9. We've been battered 7-0, 6-3, 4-0, and yet I think he's comfortably ahead of anyone in terms of the most clean sheets. I think he's got like is it a 2-game or 3-game gap? So he's a good chance he'll get it.
Yeah. But I expect him to be there in the sticks next year, unless we hit the Vegas jackpot. So we might get a new one in. Sorry, mate. If you want to stay, there you go. Do what Ali Maguire's doing. So I have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, because it's interesting. I've seen there's talks of a pay cut and things like that. That's not the issue for me. I know it's part of it, but the issue is he going to be number 1? Or are we going to bring someone in? I will say this, and I'm not just saying this because producer Ethan's sulking and I want to try and cheer him up, but he made a good point over there. Me and him were chatting, and he's seen a lot of David Raya for Brentford. And he was saying he's not that great. He's all right, but to come into Manchester United's team and be, the keeper, it's a big step up. And I've watched, and since I said that, I've been watching him. I watched him in Scouts this day, and he's a bit erratic at times, David Raya. And I was just thinking, to come at United and be the number 1, because we've been linked with him, it's
it's
not
a big
easy.
Step. It's like looking at Ivan Toney as well. It's a big step. Are you going to blow £80 million? I'm sorry, mate, it's not working. So we've been burnt before playing that stupid set of wages. So we have. Point.
The wage structure and everything now is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
The contracts we've given out. I think we're getting towards the end of that, the Woodward era.
Yeah. Phil Jones is the last of the dinosaurs.
What is it you used to call it? Scrooge McDuck era.
Scrooge McDuck. That was it. Yeah, DuckTales. Me and Jay, different time from cartoons.
You all remember it, all you youngsters.
Yeah, Scrooge McDuck.
Do you remember DuckTales?
Yeah.
Bo California, or Bo CI is from California. Maybe we'll see you when we're over there in the summer. Says, Jay, just reflect on that statement. Our goal difference is +9. That's how good we are. We don't need goal difference at Manchester United, right? Let them.
Well, it's better than Spurs, and they're not even in it.
David Moyes being interviewed. I don't miss him at United. I'm sorry to say again.
I'm sorry again. It's Moyes on my telly. Jesus Christ.
Hey.
You can't turn up Wednesday, but woe behold, you'll turn up tonight, won't you, Moyes? Feck's sake.
I think your fan cam was the only positive of the David Moyes era, to be honest with you, Andy. Yeah.
It's going to be 10 years next year. Jesus.
10 years a star was born.
Fucking hell.
Lil Spy says, would love Tony, though. A lot of people, after the game yesterday, or during the game, Brentford versus Liverpool, because Tony played well. He didn't score, but he played very well. Was saying that Tony could do his job at United. Me and him were talking the other day and saying it's a step up. I'd have him. I don't ever have him as your main striker. I don't see us buying. Buying 2, including him.
You're gonna. It's gonna be a Man United tax, no matter what happens. Whoever owns us, it's gonna be a Man United tax this summer. Whoever's respectable or not respectable owners is, you know what I mean? So it's crazy what's going to be. Basically, you got to sell to buy maybe to even raise the funds.
Yeah, make sure you are hitting that like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes by kickoff. There's over 2,500 watching, so let's get to 1,000 likes. We will have the quotes. I think we're going to have some quotes coming up as well if anyone can dig them out. I'll see if I can get them, but if you guys can have a look as well on the desk. Both Eric Ten Hag and David Moyes chatting ahead of the game. You feeling confident today, Andy?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I think you'll get a reaction now because I think, let's say, the performance on Thursday was pretty good, but it's football, isn't it? Luke Shaw, I can't explain myself. Well, yes, you can, mate. We've all seen it. Body reaction. Wasn't my fault, Your Honour. My hands was just there. I was just holding the weapon. You know what I mean? So, but it's football. It's a body reaction. But I think you'll get a reaction tonight as well. I'm glad Martial's been dropped because I know what'll go in on the lad. I'm just sick to the back teeth of even commenting on it.
I still feel like I understand it. I do feel like the injuries have got in his head a bit.
Yeah,
because like everyone goes, he's always been. He's not always been like this.
He was pushed, wasn't he? He was pushed. Like, his comments coming out about the Ollie regime. He was pushed, forced to play. You know, we're playing with niggles and all that. I can understand that, but this is now. You can't. There's no excuse.
We've been waiting too long.
It's attitude.
Year after year, we're going, he's going to kick on now.
You can be scared. Don't get injured. A bit like Sancho. You know, play it safe. Come on, man. The talent's there. Use it.
We've seen it, haven't we? When at Dortmund, he's not really.
The rumours like he wants to go back to Dortmund. I
don't know.
Seen that today.
I'll be honest with you.
Camp come out.
I don't know if that's he wants to go back. I think there was rumours that they wanted him back, but if they wanted him back,
his wages and that, that's what I was watching this afternoon.
They're not going to give us 73 million quid for him, are they? And also, I think it'd be a bit premature. I mean, stranger things have happened in football, but I'd be very, very surprised.
I think we'll be all right tonight. We've got enough in the tank and we'll get across the line. And the results have actually been a good afternoon for football. Watched the non-conference playoffs as well. Notts County, bloody hell, that was a good game against Bromley. 2-0 down, 3-2. Last kick of extra time. Well,
to start last year, they conceded in the 97th minute.
So Grimsby Town, he said it,
and they conceded again 119th minute to not get promoted.
I know.
Did the exact,
and now they've done it to get to Wembley. Football can be a great fairy tale and a great nightmare. So hopefully, fair play to Notts County. I hope they get promoted because I think they're playing Chesterfield next week. But even Salford are in the playoffs. So it's like Salford play next week in the playoffs. But Manchester football is on the map. So even Stockport County could get promoted tomorrow. So fair play to North West clubs.
Also, I think United Women are qualified for Europe as well this season for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them, absolutely smashing it.
Manchester Derby on the horizon as well with the women. I think it's the 21st and could win the league.
Well, I think City dropped points there, didn't they?
Yeah, could win the league, United ladies. So, definitely.
We just need to do it here now, don't we?
Yeah, you need to transfer that. It's like the England women can win the Euros, the men can't. They bottle
it's like Newcastle dropping points here now. You just know that. It's not going to be straightforward tonight,
but I think last year we were given so many chances. I think after we beat Norwich, I was here in the studio and it's like, we go to Arsenal, go to Liverpool. We're still in it. But this year, it's in our hands. We can actually go and do it and then we know what we've got to do. We've got the cushion. We win tonight. I think we're pretty much home and dry.
I think so. It's 9 points officially, isn't it, that we need?
I mean, I will say, I think it's a crazy kick-off time on a Sunday night. I know it's a bank holiday, but it's a piss take for the United fans going down there. I've got friends who's gone there today, and it's a long day.
That's why I've been asked on, isn't it? Because no one else wants to do it.
Never. You were first choice. John Whitehead says, really hope Anthony plays well. He needs to produce. What have you made of Anthony? Andy, you a fan?
I'm definitely a fan. I'm definitely a fan. He just needs to improve more. His first season, like they say, there's certain pundits who criticise him. Well, we all know who he is, but I'm not interested what the critics have got to say. Look, he's doing well, and he'll learn. He'll learn for it and be a better player for it this season. We just need form going in now to the end of the season. We need a couple of wins. Varane's coming back on the horizon as well, so I just want positivity now after Thursday's heartbreak. And let's just get that positivity, get the players going, and like you say, get 3 points tonight, and happy days ahead. Ala Madrid for Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be a proper Ala Madrid myself. I'll be wearing my Real Madrid kit, I think.
You see Ancelotti last night walking through back to the bus. He shouted it. He let his lungs rip. Ala Madrid twice. Oh man, you walk out of the bee's knees with a trophy like that, man. Like 10 foot. You know what? Yeah. Oh man, he's a don. He's a don.
His eyebrow to come out on Tuesday.
Like the Rock. Oh yeah, beat Real Madrid and do the Rock eyebrow. Oh yeah,
hey,
definitely.
I'll tell you what, he can win a trophy with one razor eyebrow, that boy. He's amazing. Yeah, I listen, I like Anthony as well. Get involved in the comments and let us know what you think about the starting lineup. You can see it there on your screen. I'll run through it again quickly and get Andy's take on it because I've not heard from him about it yet. You've got David De Gea in goal. You've got left back Sarah Malacia. Centre back partnership of Luke Shaw, Victor Lindelof. At right back, we've got Adam Wan-Bissaka. The midfield three of Eriksen, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. And then your front three of Marcus Rashford on the left, Wout Weghorst down the middle and Anthony on the right. When you saw that lineup, Andy, what was your... I'll get into... Forget the subs for him now. I'll get into that in a minute. What was your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, I'm quite pleased for that. I mean, the difference between Martial's got the skill, doesn't even bother using it. Weghorst, workhorse, and I say, all right if he doesn't score, but he can set up goals. I remember he set up a goal for Garnacho. You know what I mean? At Ellen Road. So yeah, use him, utilise. He's got more energy. He's got more enthusiasm. Martial's just like, what is he like? ER the donkey. That's what he is. He's ER, isn't it?
Yeah. It's nice to see Garnacho back on the bench as well.
I know, but I'm glad he's not going to that little tournament. We need him.
I think he's. That would have clashed with FA Cup final, wasn't it? The under-20s World Cup.
I know you're young, mate, but get your priorities, mate. You can follow your legend next year. You know what I mean? Just concentrate with us.
Marty Smith says, Jay, why the hell is Weghorst playing? He is by far the worst striker in the Premier. He offers nothing.
Really?
I don't think he offers nothing.
He's the worst in the Premier League, really?
The thing is, right, his record, he's not scored any goals in the Premier League. That's the problem. Like, I'm not saying he's the worst striker in the Premier League, but I think he struggles to get in almost any Premier League.
It'd be interesting to see his stats from when he's played and our win ratio. Yeah. I guarantee...
That's a better way to look at it. That is good. I think he has had games.
The work ratio, like the creating, you know what I mean? It's like helping out the team. The work ethic is like 95%.
Of course, you want your striker to score, don't you? But he's doing everything else, all the nitty gritty that you know.
Yeah, what Martial doesn't do.
Exactly.
The hard work.
I like him. I really do. I don't want him to stay.
Yeah, I think Wout Weghorst just knackered from that celebration when he scored against was it Real Betis? That celebration lasted for about 3 days, didn't it?
Yeah, and then it was quite a moment.
The old Goldalo went, hold me beer, I'll show you how it's done. And he did about 5 celebrations, didn't he, at Ellen Road? He did the feeling with pulse, he did the drink, he did the handshake.
Nottingham Forest, I think he's still running round there,
Nottingham Forest, so yeah, that was it.
My favourite was Wout against when we beat Brighton on penalties, when he ran the total opposite way to everyone else.
But he kissed the ball, didn't he? The shithousery of it, he kissed the ball. I'm not if that's allowed, but he put the plate off his stride.
We've got some stats for you from Wout Weghorst in the Premier League.
I thought it'd be better than that.
Right, let me have a look. Right, so we've got 14 appearances. He's not scored yet. 5 wins, 4 losses, and obviously 5 draws. 1 assist. So, yeah, it's not like he's tearing up trees. But he's helped us get to 5 wins. I'm trying to be kind here now. I am. I'm not going to lie. Those stats aren't helping me.
You lost 4. I mean, that's a 50-50 ratio, isn't it? Come on, Jay. Jesus Christ. I mean, if you're going to go out, he leaves United.
I'm not being funny, right?
But getting us to the Champions League.
I'm trying really hard not to be too critical of the kid. But those stats don't make great reading. I'm sorry.
But even going back to Anthony, seeing him against Brighton the other day, boot off with Dunk and the other players, it's nice to see. It's nice to see the fight in some players. I mean, we've got it with Wout, we've got it with Anthony, we've got it with Varane.
And we haven't got it in certain other players.
Exactly.
You need a bit of that, though. I was really annoyed when we lost to Liverpool for lots of reasons last season at Old Trafford, but when it all kicked off between Curtis Jones and Ronaldo, all the Liverpool players surrounded Ronaldo, and there's only Bruno and Fred who got involved, and like the crowd were going berserk because you had literally 8 United players just stood.
United players look after their own. I mean, it's the brilliant Brazil contingent. They all look after their own.
Yeah, that was missing though. That's my point. I was getting at. That was missing, and now we're seeing a little bit more of that. And when it does kick off, it looks like everyone's sticking up for the teammates. Andy, just before we go, then I know we've already asked you, but for anyone joining us, give us your score prediction.
I'm going for 2-0.
2-0. Who's scoring?
You know what? I'm going for crazy Dutch bastard. Weghorst and Rashford. You know, have a goal, get a goal, give him a goal for God's sake in the Premier League. Then he scored.
Give him a goal in the Premier League. Yeah.
He scored in all the competitions. Like, you know, he's done the League Cup, he's done Europe. You know what I mean? Give him a goal in the FA Cup final and give him a goal in the Premier League and go back to Holland, a legend.
Right, sounds good to me. Andy will be in from you at half-time and full-time. Thanks for your input. Make sure, if you've not done it already, you are hitting like, share and subscribe. And yeah, hit that like button is the main thing. Give us a like. Scotty returns. Are you feeling more confident now than you were 10 minutes ago?
Yes, that little trip to the loos helped me. No end. Feeling lighter on my feet. Do you want a full description?
No, we've had enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think if we lose today, it could have a big effect on finishing top 4. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I understand why everyone's doubting the inclusion of Weghorst up front, but if the alternative is Martial, we're here now. We've got 4 or 5 games to get through with these strikers. This is all that Ten Hag has to work with.
I think there is a scenario as well where if Garnacho's fit, or even maybe if he starts giving, he still gives Sancho games where Rashford could move into the middle. You know, like if things isn't working out, where he could go, right, Rash, you go in the middle, and we'll drop Weghorst out and then put Sancho or Garnacho on. It is good. I'll poke myself in the eye then. It is good to see Garnacho in the team. We've missed him a lot. He was such a big impact when he was coming on. Going through some of the comments and the predictions here. Casual Racer says 3-1 United. Oliver van der Nacht says 3-1 Rash, Malacia and Sabitzer. Jonathan Martin says 2-0 to the mighty Reds. Ade Tokumbo Wright says 3-1 Rashi, Weghorst, Bruno. Suresh Sandhu says need a captain's game from Bruno. Rashford back amongst the goals and United win 2-0. Spectre says Weghorst to score before 10 minutes. Someone mentioned Bruno there, Adam. What have you made of Bruno Fernandes this season? Obviously, he's been captain for nearly all the games. I know he's not club captain, but he starts when Harry Maguire usually doesn't. So he's de facto captain most games, isn't he?
He's the beating heart of the team.
Yeah,
he really is. If he's not performing, then the team isn't performing. When he's missing, you can tell he's missing. There's just no creativity in the midfield. For me, he probably has been, minus Rashford, our best player this season.
Yeah,
he just makes us tick. I know I said about Eriksen before, but when he's not playing, you notice, and we're not as good as a team. And he is our captain. You know, as much as I respect Maguire and I'll always stand by the club captain, Fernandes proves that he's the captain.
Yeah. It's like if Rashford isn't playing, we've still got a chance that we might score goals. But I think if Fernandes isn't in the starting lineup for United, I mean, Seville was a great example of that, is that the team just in many ways goes to pieces, which is a bit disappointing given the sort of, the calibre of players around him. But he is a leader, and I know a lot of people get wound up about him moaning, but you want that sort of passion, whether you call it whinge, I want you to kick off when you're not getting the decision. I'm not going to go, go on then, ref.
No. Rooney used to do it, Keano used to do it.
Yeah. But that does worry me, when he is missing. We haven't got anyone.
Who picks up the mantle?
That's it. Eriksen and Sabitzer have been great this season, but they've not got that spark in them to really pull the whole team through a game.
The thing with Bruno is everyone's mentioned it, but his appearance record's unreal. Unreal.
Machine.
I mean, he's played, I think, more minutes than anyone else in Europe's top 5 leagues. He never misses a game through injury. He barely ever misses one through suspension. He's just a machine. I think in his career he's missed about, is it 2 games or something with illness or something? Or since where was it? It was in Italy. Was it
Fiorentina?
Fiorentina. Like he's barely just stays fit. And considering the energy that he plays with and how much he gets stuck in, you think he might pick up at the odd knock or whatever. But no, he's a phenomenon. And as Ronaldo Brown said, the best ability is availability. They're obviously going through the national anthem now. Because apparently I didn't hear much about it, but apparently there was a coronation on yesterday. I missed it though. I was watching Netflix. Just going to go through the team one last time. In fact, I'll go through the teams. So United, you've got David De Gea, Luke Shaw, Tyrone Malacia, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, actually back 5, Casemiro, Eriksen, Fernandes in your midfield, and your front 3, you've got Marcus Rashford on the left, Wout Weghorst in the middle, and Antony on the right. On the bench, you've got Butland, Fred, Dalot, Garnacho, Williams, Martial, Maguire, Sancho, and Sabitzer. The West Ham team, if I just get my team back up. Sorry, it's gone off my screen. Is it there? Thank you. Sorry. Fabianski, Cresswell, Kehrer, Ogbonna, Souček, Paqueta, Bowen, Benrahma, Rice, Antonio. On the bench, Areola, Fornals, Anang, Lanzini, Johnson, Ings, Emerson, Cornet, and Downs. So there you go. We're just about to kick off.
What's their form like? I know they've not,
it's a good question.
I know they've not won last 3, but in terms of playing at home,
let's have a look-see at their form. Oh, it's 4-3. Sorry, I said 3-2 earlier. They lost at Crystal Palace. They lost at home to Liverpool not long ago. At home they drew with Arsenal, obviously. Then they were 2-0 down, and Arsenal had that penalty as well. They got battered off Newcastle 5-1 at home, and they beat Southampton. So very much a mixed bag, to be honest. I think it's hard to sort of put them one way or the other. They've obviously had some decent results and some stinkers, and they're currently on 34 points, so they're not safe. It's very tight down there. From sort of Bournemouth, probably from West Ham actually, if I'm being honest. West Ham on 34, and then down to Southampton who are bottom on 24. All those teams bar Leeds have got 4 games left to play. Leeds have got 3. So it's hard to predict, other than Southampton, who are absolutely doomed.
I think it will stay like that. I think
you think so? The bottom
Everton,
3: Southampton, Everton, and Forest. You're going for that.
I don't know who's.
I don't want Everton to go down.
I don't want Everton to go down. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Everton. I'm not going to lie. I know a few Evertonians are all right, and also there's a mutual dislike of Liverpool, which I quite like.
Yeah,
I mean that buggers them up, doesn't it? I know they're getting a new stadium, aren't they, at the moment?
We're all over the gaffer. Yeah, they're going to have the best stadium in the Championship ever, aren't they? All right. West Ham have started brightly here. United under the cosh a little bit, just trying to get out.
Very deep.
We are. There's Eriksen on the ball. Hopefully we can get going.
Come on,
Marcus turns there. He's turned. He's done well. He's running through. Go on, son. All the way, lad.
In the middle now.
Oh, he just got underneath it. Rashford got a shot off there. A bit of 1-2 from Eriksen.
Great break though from Rashford.
Yeah, did really well there, Marcus. But he just got under his shot, so it went over. Wilhelm Tanner says, it's a super chat. Got to read it out. That's, if you don't know, that's the greatest moment in YouTube history when Claude, God rest him, and Ty were on Arsenal Fan TV. And the super chat came in, it's Claude, and he said, Ty chokes on DT's Willie. What's that all about? So Ty was like, what are you reading that for? Don't read that. It's a super chat. You got to read it out. Absolutely super moment there.
Do you think West Ham have suffered because of this like European adventure? What is it, European Conference League? It's in the semi-final of that, aren't they?
Yeah, they've had a little bit of a spell. Well, they're having a spell in it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. It's not a bad point because the games are just thick and fast in there, aren't they? They're like they are in the Europa League, so you end up playing quite a lot.
They're back to full strength today, like you were saying. After
City. It's annoying because they did. Slightly annoying. They're always up against it going to the Etihad, but like I say, they had like all those players that were out were ones who were effective against Palace, and then they were missing for the Etihad. And West Ham, to be fair, gave City a game for about 50 minutes and then it was over. But it's been a lively start anyway. Make sure you are hitting that like button. You mentioned it earlier, Scotty, about a reaction. I think we're talking about Eric Ten Hag wanting a reaction, and he's been saying that in his press conferences and in his interviews, and he's someone who doesn't look like he takes it lightly if he don't get one, is he?
No,
it doesn't strike me as just being all sunshines and rainbows if things aren't going right. And he spoke about everyone, all 11 need to turn up as well. So,
what do you think that was a dig at?
Oh, come on, De Gea, we've been defending you all bleeding before the match. Great
good tackle.
Well done there.
Where
Vegas, that's what he brings.
Might not be able to score.
Can we get a stat for his tackle?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I swear he's a centre back.
Anthony Martial could never play centre back.
This is an awful pass from David De Gea, by the way. Yeah.
Look at that, 9 tackles. One chances created per game, but 9 tackles.
It's a fantastic tackle, and it also goes off Declan Rice as well, so we get a goal kick.
And then give it back to De Gea to do another bad pass.
I don't know what's going on there.
There we go. The link-up play's been decent.
Playing deep, man.
I know, he's playing like right back. He can't be blamed for not scoring when he's playing right back. It's not his fault.
But going back to what Ten Hag said midweek, do you reckon he was having a go at certain players when he was talking about all the 11?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's...
I don't think he comes across as the sort of manager. You look at Jose Mourinho that's quite happy to single out players. He doesn't seem like he's going to do that.
Agreed.
I think he's one of them, innit? One thing he will do, and also Jose didn't always do this, is behind closed doors, you can imagine he'll read people the right out when they need it. But publicly, he's always very protective of players. Even when you've had situations which seem almost indefensible. Like when the whole Ronaldo thing was popping off about him leaving early or whatever, he just stuck up for him, and he's stuck up for, I think, pretty much everyone when they've got to. He was sticking up for Shaw one the other day when Shaw was getting a bit of grief.
He's played the media pretty well for him.
Yeah,
you talk about debut seasons for players and stuff. I think we take it for his first season in the Premier League and stuff. And the media itself is a battle for new managers.
No, we were talking about this. We had Ian Irving on from The Athletic and Premier League TV on Friday on the Brew, and he was saying that Eric Ten Hag, he's does well in press conferences. There's a good atmosphere in him. He's pretty open as well.
He fills me with confidence, the way he portrays himself, the way he speaks.
Definitely.
It's like I think it was maybe second game of season. Brentford ran 10k more or something like that.
Yeah.
And the day after, he made everyone run the same amount of time as well as himself.
That was the key, wasn't it? Yeah. He ran with them because he said it's all of our fault. So we're all going to run, and I think that sets a good example when you're 52 years old running. He's
always
it's
right.
It's it.
Ooh! Bruno with a shot from 20 yards out there, just wide of the post.
We look quick on the break. It looks like we're playing on the counter attack here. To be honest,
yeah, aren't they sort of? Oh, it's not. Fabianski was rooted then as well.
I don't think he knew that was going wide.
Quite open this, though.
It is.
But going back to getting in there, that does let him down.
His distribution,
oofing it out.
Well played, Luke Shaw.
It is hard to ignore.
If we want to play a certain
element
way,
of his game,
if we want to play a certain way, I think we do have to change our keeper. But I'll stick by him. I love him.
Nair Vision says, "Where is Joe? He'll be back tomorrow. He's having a rare watch-along off." To be fair to him,
that was so close.
Yeah, inches only just wide.
I'm hoping Bruno kicks off as well now with his goal. He scored. Did he score against last week?
Villa.
Yeah. I think he went a bit of a drought, didn't he? You know what? I'm going to back him to sure today.
Yeah, you're having it.
Bruno
Fernandes, you heard it here first. Bruno Fernandes is going to get a goal today. I think he's our second highest scorer this season. I think he's got about 6.
I mean, that's embarrassing, isn't it, really, that we've only got one player that's in double figures. That for the team that's in the top four.
I think between Bruno, Sancho, Antony, and you can obviously throw Weghorst in there.
Can you imagine? It's like
between the 3 of them, I don't think you've got 20 goals between the 4 of them. Sorry,
it's like you do most of the work here at Stretford. Paddock, like you're Rashford, and you know.
Someone was comparing me to Maguire earlier in the comments.
Were they?
That's disgusting. I know, yeah. Like To be
the
fair,
size
though,
of your head?
yeah. The fact that I cost 80 million quid from Leicester.
Yeah, wow.
Um,
Do you know what I mean? Though, can you imagine like Rashford going in and you like he's not scored and then you look around at the room?
I know.
Why
This is the thing.
In,
I feel bad when I say like he's only got 2 in 8 because I think he's doing all the heavy lifting. So it's not a criticism of him. It's just compared to his usual ratio, he's tailed off a little bit. And the issue you've got is no one stepping up.
He's not come back from the injury the same sort of player.
I agree with
has
that.
he?
I think City have got 5 scorers that have scored over 10 goals this season.
Even I saw a stat before. I think ESPN sort of skew-whiffed it a bit and they had to redo it. But Martinelli and Odegaard have both got 15 Premier League goals this season. And I think that's the first time in Arsenal's Premier League history they've had 2 players on 15 plus Premier League goals, which...
And that covers up a lot of the cracks. We can single out the things like little defensive errors or De Gea conceding goals. If you've got more players, I mean, it's logic in it. If you get more players that can score goals up front, you're not over-reliant. You know, errors don't count as much, do they, when you're conceding stupid goals here and there?
No, they don't. Matt G in the Super Chat says, if we can't afford a new keeper, should we give De Gea a new contract on less money or just take up the 1-year extension?
Oh!
Anthony
almost identical in distance to Bruno's shot. I like him, Anthony. I think he's had a decent season.
You've got to remember, he's only 21, isn't he? 22?
Yeah, I think he's 22.
He's younger than last year anyway.
United signings don't get the same sort of...
he's 23, actually.
Oh, is it?
Man United signings...
They're all 23.
Until the 27.
Nice. Hey, don't you understand
I didn't realise how
fractions?
old McTominay was until I saw it the other day. I thought he was still about 23.
Yeah, do you remember the old Jesse Lingard thing? Young Jesse Lingard.
He's
a kid
23,
now.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's been 23 for 8 years.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
But you're not here like the Anthony situation. If Anthony played for another club, it'd be like, oh no, like if he played for City, you get a year.
It's a great point because I mentioned this, like Jack Grealish. I know he won the title last season, but he didn't have an amazing season in terms of his own numbers or whatever. And he'd been in the Premier League for a few years.
Yeah.
And he was like given a
Calvin
year to,
Phillips doesn't get the shit that Anthony gets.
And it's Anthony's first season in English football. And people are sort of looking at him. And listen, I get if you're €100 million signing or whatever for Manchester United, you're going to get some scrutiny. I'm not saying he shouldn't. But it does seem a little bit disproportionate at times where people are going, he's a flop. He's not.
No, he's not. He's obviously got things to work on. He's very one-footed at the moment, but that's okay because on his left foot, he's got an absolute rocket. He's incredibly skillful. He needs to work on his weaker foot. He's probably his temper a little bit, and his link-up play with a striker. But we've got an amazing winger there for the next 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can see a lot more from him next season as he gets into it. Just for me, I just think because I like the fact he tracks back a lot as well. I think that goes unnoticed. I just wish he'd hit the target a bit more. That's my only criticism.
Even, go to that Barca game. That's been my favourite goal this season.
Yeah,
his goal against Barca. It was a very close game.
That'll do.
That was lucky. That
was a good interception. That he pulled us. He pulled a goal out of nothing there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He's the exact type of player.
That's a great little ball from Bruno Fernandes. He makes it look so easy as well.
Go on, shoot.
Just sort of trying to work an opening here.
I don't mind us keeping the ball here.
No.
He's coming very deep out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
but if you watch Tottenham, Kane does the exact same thing.
And scores 30 a season.
Yeah. Other than that, other than the 30 goals a season thing, they're identical.
Him and Kane have 2 legs, and that's a similarity.
You can't even. Why we're buying Kane, I don't know. Carbon copy.
No, point being, are we trying to play a certain way to pave the way for Kane in summer?
See, this is Weghorst is walking so Kane can fly. Is that what you're getting at? That's what he's doing. That's his role in the team. Prepare us for Harry Kane.
Crash test dummy there.
Yeah, basically.
Just go out there, pretend you're Harry Kane.
How's that working out for you? Yeah. He's trying, bless him.
He's trying.
Most improved player under Ten Hag?
Very good
Wan-Bissaka or Shaw? I say Shaw myself. I think the pressure was probably... the pressure was on both of them, wasn't it?
I'd say Shaw, solely because he's playing a new position this season, isn't he?
Can I say Rashford?
Yeah.
Because I thought last season was an outlier, by the way. Joe Smith always makes this point, he's right. Rashford is usually very good and very prolific in terms of goals and assists. Last season he was woeful, but that's not his usual standards. But I was worried for Rashford this season because I thought if he plays like that this season, Ten Hag doesn't owe him anything and he ain't going to stick with him. I thought he had to have a good start to the season and he did that. And I think this season he's been as good as he's ever been.
The thing is, last season was a dip, like I said, it's an outlier, it's a dip in form, whereas it looked like, especially in Luke Shaw's case, when Bolasie did have a few games earlier on, it looked like, there's been several times where it looked like it might be the end of Shaw's time at United, and I think this is probably one of his best seasons post the injury, isn't it? I think for Manchester United.
Right, I need to mute my dad. He keeps telling me things before they happen. See, I knew from my dad's WhatsApp message that we just missed a chance, which is our 4th missed chance of the game because he keeps telling me every time we miss a chance.
He's beating a target, don't we?
Oh. I mean, look, we had a few chances though, as my dad just pointed out. Sorry?
It's cool. He's wearing
loves you, absolutely
wearing
loves
the same shirt as me the other night.
Was it?
Well, a shirt that I own. Very well dressed, man.
Yeah, he enjoyed it immensely. At your book launch, if you've not done it already, I've got it somewhere. I've got my bag near me. It's over there somewhere.
Okay.
If you want to chuck us my bag, we'll do a little plug for Scotty's book.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mate, this is what this channel's
You
about.
do more than my publishers are.
It's become my sole purpose in life on this channel recently, because it is a fantastic book. Some great interviews in it. It's called Mancunians. Here we go.
Oh, Alson's in it. You're in it.
Yeah, there you go. So you can see there.
Blurred,
sorry.
Put it towards your head. There you go. Look, it's the same size as Jay's head.
That was...
So if you ever wondered how big is Jay's head, you can know by buying the book.
Yeah. He specifically asked the publishers to make it the same size as my head. Where do we start? Where do I begin? Go and check it out. It's a fantastic read. It tells the sort of story of Manchester, the late 90s, early 90s, and obviously there's a bit of football in there, culture, music, the lot. It's really good. Fantastic read. Well done, my friend, on it.
Cheers,
I couldn't be prouder. Hit that like button. Come on, we've still not got to 1,000 likes.
What? 1,000 likes?
Not even hit it yet. It's terrible, isn't it? Come on, people. Over 2,000 people watching. We can get to 1,000 likes. Hit that like button. United have had a bright start, but West Ham with the ball at the minute. Is that Ben Rama on the ball? Is it? Flicking it up. And that's gone well out, surely. Oh, no, he's kept it in. Fair play to David there. I thought that had well gone out. Very good on the ball. Go on, my son. Keep going. That's it. Show me your pace.
He's still going.
He's still going.
Oh, he was waiting for the ball back then. Go on, Marcus. Oh, he went for the near post there. Very unlucky. Did he hit the post?
Hit the post.
Hit the post there. He cut on inside from the left-hand side and then went for the near post. And it's just hit the post. Just watching it here again now on a replay.
Yeah, it's outside the post.
United knocking on the door here.
Yeah.
That's our 5th chance so far.
Still not at the target, have we?
And then we're getting...
Do you prefer him on the wing?
Yeah. I think he's done well under Ten Hag, down the middle, because I've written that off for him, to be honest with you, under Ollie and Rangnick. But he has done well there when he's played. I just don't think he's that guy. I think that coming in from left, he's so much better. And I think from down the middle, he can do a job for you. And if we need him, now, whilst we're lacking up front, I wouldn't have any qualms about seeing him up in the middle. But I think next season, if we buy a Harry Kane or anyone else, you'd want to see Rashford on the left. Bruno with a speculative effort from about 25 yards out that goes well wide and doesn't really ever look like going in, to be honest with you. Oh, Antonio there, just absolute taxi for him.
Yeah, that's not a foul, is it?
No, he's just completely missed the ball and he's asking for a foul, but I don't think it was one. I think he just had a bit of a stinker. Declan Rice has been linked with Manchester United. Would you have him?
Where, in terms of who would you take out of that midfield? And for the money that's being...
I think we need a replacement for Casemiro eventually, obviously. But to spend, more than 100 mil on Rice, it's probably not the right time to do it because you're going to have to start him if you pay that much for him, aren't you? I mean, I would definitely take him if we didn't have Casemiro.
Yeah.
We do need someone that. It's the same with Bruno. So, talking before, we're not going anyone that can really take his place when he's missing. Same with Casemiro, really. So I'd take him, but I think we need someone a little bit less expensive.
Yeah, I think that some of the figures being touted for him are absolutely ridiculous. I think it's like at one point it's over 100 million. I know he's a very good player and he's still relatively young. I don't know if he's that sort of levels. Abinab Verma in the super chat says, Scotty, what's your opinion if your book was used to train an AI model? The model is free to download and use.
Train to do what?
I don't know. I don't know about AI very well. I know
but to train it to do what?
I'm not sure.
Have you not read much on AI?
No,
it'll just scare the life out of you. Not. Go to sleep.
Forgive me. I know I should, but I haven't.
Yeah, I've fell down a lot of holes about how like bad it could be.
Yeah, I think Steve uses it now and again. He's into it.
Like it's a great tool to use, but I just mean when you listen to interviews from former Google employees about how dangerous it could be.
Is it like the Terminator sort of thing?
You look at me with some sort of like.
No, I'm
it could be. Yeah,
that could be Cyberdyne Systems. Eh?
You wouldn't even need to do it. You wouldn't even need like a Stretford Paddock. You could like AIJ. They can actually get presenters now.
Yeah,
and then you wouldn't even need to be there. You
that's me. I can stay on my couch again.
Then you have to do housework. In fact, you get AIJ to go home. Pretends to be the doting partner. Love your kids.
She'd work out something's going wrong here.
Well, when he was doing work.
Yeah, doing work. Why has he started cleaning up this, isn't Jay? Something's going down here. You think I'm stupid? Fucking AI, that again. Get your ass back in here. Abhinav Verma says it's trained like Chat GPT. Yeah. Someone's saying is Jay's mic off. No, I was just being quiet, I think. I think my mic's still on. House of Blue says AI will be my future girlfriend. Right, okay. Each to your own. I'm not judging.
I mean, it's great for students now. They can write whole essays
really?
And stuff. Yeah,
fucking hell, I could have done with that.
In seconds.
Masters. Hey, how would they know? Would they be able to work it out?
Not really. You can sort of... I don't, because it's such in its infancy, they don't know how to control it, and that's the issue. You got all these many different companies that are using it to create loads of different ways of like medical reasons, education reasons, production lines and stuff. I put one of my essays in from
too much on that
from uni that I remember that I did on. It was a post-colonial study of train spotting, and I got a first for it.
Yeah.
And it came up with something within like less than 20 seconds that was better than what I did.
Really?
I had 20 seconds.
Mate, do you know what? I'd have well used AI. Like,
oh yeah,
like, uni.
They reckon it's going to wipe out. They reckon it's going to wipe out like 40% of education because why would you need it?
It created our EP cover in
really
2 seconds. We typed in spaceman at a window.
Yeah.
Boom, it's done. So it saved me a job anyway.
You know, see that band that did the Beatles, the Oasis album?
No.
So I'll tell you shortly afterwards. There's a band that they wrote all these tracks and then said like they want the lead singer to sound like Liam Gallagher and made the album sound like Oasis.
Called AISIS.
Not A, like the lot from Middle East. ISIS. Like some of them Sheffield spotted terrorists. ISIS.
Play one of your favourite tracks. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad we're not promoting ISIS music. Right, I'll have to have a look into it because I've not really studied.
It sounded like a
really
decent cover band.
Anthony now breaking down the left. Oh, pass was a bit short to Weghorst. Oh, he's won that back there and he shouldn't have done. Well done, Luke Shaw.
I think he might have been offside there if he played that ball.
That was a bit annoying.
It's good defending. Got
lucky there.
That's a terrible pass.
What are they complaining about there?
I think they're asking for handball. I don't think it's going to be looked at or anything. I think that's just nonsense. I can see David Moyes being irate on the touchline, as always. Come on, Marcus, unlucky. Like you saying, it's been a bit open this game. I know it's still 0-0, but both teams look for it. Because West Ham need a win, don't they, really? I suppose a point is a decent result against United for them, but...
Yeah, I don't think, if I was a West Ham fan, I wouldn't be too worried about going down.
Let's have a look at there.
Yeah, well, because they must have that European semi soon.
Yeah.
That's on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. That's why I was surprised with the team he put out. I thought he might rest some players.
Well, it's what I mean, with it's the Conference League, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's different for us. But would you be bothered to be in that cup if you was the likes of West Ham? What?
I think to be like, if they were to win it, it'd be a mad achievement for them. Like, I think they'd be buzzing to win a European trophy, especially when they've been in and out of relegation fights for the last few years. I know not always, obviously, but yeah, I don't blame them for going for it. They've got Brentford away, then they've got the next game, like you say, is against Alkmaar in the Europa Conference. Then they've got Brentford. Then they've got the return leg against Alkmaar. Then they've got Leeds at home, Leicester away, and then that's it. So the thing for them is, obviously, the Leicester and the Leeds game are 6 pointers, really, aren't they? Like, if they get sucked into it, if they were to lose either of them, then they could be in all sorts of trouble.
Well, they're another team that have got a gigantic stadium, haven't they? They're
still the London Stadium.
Paying
off. Have you been there?
I've drove past it. That don't count, does it?
I've been at Upton Park. I've not been to the London Stadium. I know they've had it for a while.
Remember all that shit that they did the last game? Because United played in it the last game at Upton Park.
Right.
When it was all like kicking off with fans. They were putting the windows through, weren't they? And then they brought all the taxis on the pitch.
Jesus wept.
Free jelly deals for everyone.
I love the fact that they act hard and then they literally have bubbles blowing from like apparatus on the touch line. It's like, come on, have a word with yourselves. You can't be both
stood
ways.
there in a Stone Island jacket and a fucking blowing bubbles. You slag.
Yes.
Oh
no! De Gea.
There we go.
Absolute howler.
I've literally been defending you before this and said it. He's always susceptible to making stupid mistakes. There's your contract, Dave.
Asshole. Fuck off. You're finished.
You can't have. There's no excuse
Can't
for
defend
it,
that.
is it?
Fuck off.
I can't believe he
It
spilled
was
that.
20 yards out. Wasn't even hit at pace.
He fell awkwardly on it,
may have been a little bobble beforehand, but there's no...
Man, we've been a better team as well. We've had 5 chances, they've had none really.
It's half a chance, that, isn't it?
And then it's 25 yards out, and then...
I'm not even...
It's a stinker.
No.
It's an absolute
stinker. It takes
stinker.
a little bounce before he goes down, but there's no way he shouldn't be saving that.
Oh, dearie me. David De Gea.
See the bounce?
Yeah, he just gets it all wrong. He just gets it all wrong.
Nah, it's unforgivable, that.
Fucking joke of a keeper.
On the day where he's just become United.
No.
He don't deserve a contract for that. No way.
United 1-0 down. I had a bad feeling about today.
Hard luck, Dave.
I didn't think it was going to be...
That's not hard luck.
Andy, we'll hear from you at half-time.
You were saying positivity before, big man. We'll talk about that at half time. Let's get behind him. It was a bad mistake and we move on.
For the sake of sanity, I'm keeping quiet.
That's what we were saying though. Before you can make great saves, but you can also make fucking comedy errors.
We need the reaction now, don't we?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I mean, like you said, we've created some decent chances, but not at the target. We've done it ourselves here at the moment. We've still got time. Plenty of it.
Right, serious question. Looking at the season as a whole, we've had great wins, but in terms of performances, just on the pitch, Do you think we've been great? Because when I've sort of been looking back over games, we've had great moments, but we've never actually had 90 minutes where we've actually battered a team. Everton maybe when we had all them, but we've never really. When have we ever been dominant over 90 minutes in a game?
Under Ten Hag, sorry.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? We've had great moments and great wins and stuff within the game, but never.
There's been a few at Old Trafford where I think we've been pretty but the trouble is those games have come against teams that are struggling. We were pretty dominant against Leicester, for example, but it's Leicester. Do you know what I mean? I understand your point. I can't really point nothing springs to mind where I'm thinking.
That's a good point.
There's been a dominant performance against a really good team. Now I'm not going to knock it because we've had a lot of good results. So I get that sometimes you got to get over the line. Like the Liverpool game, Old Trafford, for example, was that where we lost the first two. You have to get a win or get something, and we got it against a team that historically, or not even historically, but is one of our rivals.
Again,
But that's what I mean, because we've been putting the points, because we've been getting the points week in, week out. Has it been giving us this sort of false sense of security that we're actually playing better football than we are? And now when it's come to the business end of the season and the sort of steam's falling out of the players.
I think if you look at our style of play compared to City, for example, they're very possession based. They like to keep the ball, so when they do have the ball, it looks great. We are probably the best team in the league at counter attacking. I would say so. For us to be able to counter attack, we need to absorb pressure, don't we?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we probably haven't dominated games like we should be doing, but I think that's the way we are playing at the moment.
Is that the way? But that's not the Ten Hag way, though. Counter-attacking football, is it? I thought we were supposed
to not,
starting position.
We're still in a journey, aren't we?
To
what, the lack of a
goalkeeper at the back, we can't play at the back. Because I remember, I keep going back to that Liverpool game because we went long there. We just kept going long, and it's that's not meant to be what he does. He didn't do it at Ajax.
We've got a keeper. I'll butcher his name, but he's playing for Sparta Prague at the moment. He's on loan there. One of our keepers. They're in the cup final over there in Prague. They're, I think, the top of the league now. He saved a penalty last minute. He's where he positions himself on the pitch. He's in front of the 18-yard box. It'd be interesting to see what he could do.
Kovar, I remember it.
Yeah. I think he's only young. I mean, to have a keeper that can play with his feet and pass it about, he's another player on the pitch, isn't it? It's already an advantage. Look at Edison. He links up. I think he's got 3-4 assists this season, hasn't he, Edison?
Yeah, I mean, he is like a sweeper. The thing with Edison is, same with Alisson as well, they do play out from the back and they play out well, but they also command their area as well, when it's crossing and stuff, and that's
he's trying to find the keeper that can play out but also can play in there.
I do rate especially Alisson. I think he's a...
Is it the post?
Is it the post?
It's a great effort.
That's our sixth chance. Adash Langthasser says, now De Gea will go on to make some unbelievable saves and everyone will defend him by saying, but he saved us so many times. Yeah, I think that does happen quite a lot.
We just need to keep the pressure up here. That's their only chance they've had, isn't it?
Ooh,
that's a terrible pass. Good touch.
Oh, unlucky. Get involved in the comments in the chat, loads of people. I'm going to start going through some of them. Hit the like button as well. You might not like the result, but like the video. Amir Gakale says, Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing as striker. Feels like Aaron Wan-Bissaka is striker, Weghorst to right back at the minute. Martin P has been a member of the Academy for 17 months, says, I've been very much pro De Gea, but do we now need to do what Pep did with Joe Hart and move on to someone who can play the right way? The thing is, right, Joe Smith, who loves his stats, did statistical analysis on De Gea and looked at it.
Oh, come on.
That's poured out from molasses. It's good. Tackle that. Well done. Made up for his mistake. and he looked at him in the metrics, comparing to other keepers, and he was below almost every keeper in the Premier League for so many stats. And even his shot stopping was in the bottom third. Now,
this season,
yeah, this season. Sorry, this season his distribution I think was in the bottom 2% or whatever, 5%. His command of his area, his touches in the around the area and everything, and his shot stopping was slightly better, but not that amazing. And he did a video on it, or not a video, he was talking about it on a video, and we put a clip of it on socials, and him and McCall were talking about it, and loads of people were hammering like Joe and going, oh, you know, you slagging him off, and I think you have to be able to look at him objectively. You have to be able to discuss him.
Yeah,
I think we've got some of the stats here. So, what's this? What's that there? Post-shot expected goals. Right, forget that. So goals against. He's in the top there, or the top third, I think. But his save percentage, his saves from penalty kicks is abysmal. Touches, launch percentage, the goal kicks that find a man, length of his goal kicks, things like that. Crosses stopped, he's in the bottom 4%. I mean, it doesn't make for great reading when you look at it from a statistical point of view. Now, I know people say, well, that doesn't take into account what he's done for United in the past. I understand that. But I'm talking about moving forward. That is a question that's got to be answered. It's, can you put up with these things? And I say put up with because I think we are putting up with them.
I mean, it's great to get nostalgic, and we were talking before, and today it's like his 540th game for Manchester United.
Yeah.
But there was many reasons why Sir Alex Ferguson was brilliant at his job. One of the attributes was how quickly he would get rid of players that were. He wouldn't let De Gea go on this long. I don't think. If you look at, he felt Yapstam was not as good as he used to be. Got rid of him. Van Nistelrooy, for Christ's sake, and then went on to
two of the best players I've ever seen.
And Sir Alex Ferguson was, and they were still in their prime more than De Gea is now at Old Trafford. The issue is, do we have the funds to replace him? I mean, we can't do anything now because it's like 4 or 5 games to the end of the season, but there's a centre forward that needs addressing, centre midfield that needs addressing, and probably defence, we're going to need someone that's there, and a goalkeeper. You want to get world class in each of them areas, you're looking at £100 million. So what do you want to concentrate on, scoring more goals or not conceding any? So that's where it comes into it. There's going to be a difficult question because the lad could come back from Nottingham.
Mate,
you know what I mean? De Gea could open the door for him.
There's a stat here. De Gea has made 4 errors leading to a goal in all competitions this season, the joint most of any Premier League player, along with Hugo Lloris. I think Lloris has passed it, to be honest with you. Mayor Amateur says, we really miss Luke Shaw's ability as a left-back. I agree. I like Malacia. We do miss Luke Shaw on the left-back because he's so good.
A little bit erratic, isn't he, at times, Malacia?
Yeah. So that is one. I like Luke Shaw does well at centre-back, but we miss him on the left. Obviously, we've just got... So, your two main centre-backs being out is just catastrophic.
I am surprised he's dropped the low, to be honest. He's on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
I mean, he's
We've got a bit of a gap now as well, haven't we, between games? Anthony's away here.
Go on, Anthony.
He's skinned his full-back. Can he get... I think Declan Rice come back there.
I think Anthony's probably United's best outfield player at the moment. Well, played there. That's what we want.
Well done. Well done there, Anthony.
Go on. Oh, he got
lucky there with that bounce.
Great player by Anthony there.
Yeah. He just shoved him a little bit, shoulder to shoulder. To be fair, Pagueta's shoved Anthony and he's just stood his ground and sent himself flying. And it's the corner flag and stays in.
Just need to up the tempo a little bit now. We're keeping the ball well when we're up into the final third. We're just not doing anything with it.
Got 7 minutes to this half now to get something. Get back in it.
There's no urgency with it.
That's it now.
I think we were 1-0 up.
Yeah.
Going down to a team in the bottom 5, 6, they're always going to put...
Someone just said that. Paul Smith, did they know the 1-0 down? You wouldn't think so.
So they can sit on the ball now, can't they? They don't have to press us. They're happy to sit back.
Fucking away record, man, this season. Man, someone said we're the fifth best away record in the league. How is that possible? Hit the thing that keeps the nets up.
It says it all. Thing. I mean, that's a similar shot to what Fernandez had earlier on. It was a shot to nothing.
Yeah, is it 30 yards?
Yeah, why we need to take them efforts on?
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to score the greatest goal ever.
Oh, it gets worse every time you watch that, doesn't it? Even his positioning there, he's so far off his line. Would you drop the Gea?
No.
Why not?
Nah, I wouldn't. I don't think that. I think that's just counterproductive at a minute. I mean, you're bringing in Jack Butland, who's what? Was he Crystal Palace's third choice goalkeeper? Tom Eaton, who's had injury problems and hasn't played barely any football over the last 2 years. I think he's the best option we've got at a minute.
But that's the problem at United, isn't it? You know, when we're talking about up front, we've got a lot of problems with the best that we've got until the end of the season.
Yeah,
we're a car that needs a few new parts. We've just got to see if we can get through to the end of May with it.
This is it. This is the problem, and it worries me like going into the FA Cup final as well. If you do something like that in there, fuck, you know.
It looks like Bruno's got an elbow to the face there.
I'd like to see Garnacho come on in the second half and then move Rashford in the middle.
A bit more direct, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm all here for Valvegos playing centre back, but I think we're missing a striker.
Well, we're missing them up there, aren't we? That's why everyone's shooting from outside the box. There's no passes going into the box. I think we have to make a change at half time here if it stays like this.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, but what
would your change be?
Maybe put Rashford up front and bring Garnacho on or Sancho.
Sorry, say that again.
Garnacho or Sancho for Wout and put Rashford up front.
Right.
I mean, I'm not in a mad rush to do it. I think he's not been terrible. Wow, he's like we've said it a few times now. He's putting the effort in, but let's see, put it in the box for him now.
Oh, you got to head that back across goal, man.
I wouldn't mean I'd be a bit hesitant to make maybe changes if West Ham were playing great. They're not. West Ham are winning for one reason only. Really, they've not been dominant.
Mistake, that's it.
And I think United's issue is that we're not being clinical up front. We've hit the post twice with Anthony and Rashford. I think I'd just like to, if we put somebody else up there, because we're missing a striker without playing so deep and his limited abilities. So maybe a Sancho or a Garnacho. I think Anthony's had a decent game.
Yeah, he has.
I wouldn't mind seeing Garnacho come on.
Where's that Palestra kid? Last time I seen him, him and Garnacho down the wing felt very old school United. That.
Philip Owen says we are absolutely shocking. Back to where we left off last season. Dreadful, not moving forward and wasting I think that should be our only chances. It's
the performances since the Carabao Cup have been very laborious, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can only I was talking to Joe about this on the preview because I said we've played 15 games, 10 games more than some of the teams, more than basically almost anyone. But you can't keep using that as an excuse. You know what I mean? You can't keep saying, oh, well, we've played more games, the games are catching up with us. That still doesn't excuse certain aspects of a performance, like obviously De Gea there, that's nothing to do with being knackered. That's just switching off. It's lack of concentration. Do you know what's going to do me? I thought this was coming. I still think we'll get top four and I still think we'll win the last 4 games, but the fucking meltdown and the jubilation from the Scousers is going to be horrible.
And you don't need this going into an FA Cup final as well.
No, you're right. You mentioned this the other day because you remember when we played Newcastle in the Carabao, their form was horrible going into that. I think they'd drawn 6 of the
Yeah,
last
they
7
hadn't won
games.
post World Cup. They won one game back to the World Cup.
And you could tell they weren't. Like, we played Newcastle, a few weeks ago when they were flying. It would have been a different story. But their form had gone, and ours was all right. But you could see there was one team that was sort of the tails were up, and another team that was struggling. And I think there's an element of that, that worry going into this, because you're right. Because City probably they are going to be, just won the title and flying. If United come into it, and not even if we've not got top 4, even if we've made hard work of it, that could be a difficult one anyway. You need to come into it full of confidence and believing you can win that game, not coming in thinking we're fucking terrible and we're up against the best team in Europe.
Top 4 being done, 2-3 games to go.
Even if you can start taking a few players out of the firing line a bit, like Casemiro or Eriksen or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
No, we can't win games with them in.
No, that's the problem.
Because it's the FA Cup, the suspension would run over if anything was to happen. But it's not going that way at the moment, is it? It just seems very one-dimensional.
Marcus.
Are we on 1,000 likes?
No, we're on 679.
It's only 600. If you think David De Gea should leave United, press like now.
That's probably going to get us over the line, to be honest with you. The amount of
I get
comments.
more commission for that then, because I give you a talking point and got
you can have the 300. You can have the 320 likes that we should get. Nice. Well, you've just got 18 straight away with that one. United, It's so frustrating.
Flat.
Oh, I thought that was going in then.
The same thing again.
No. He's going to give that.
Come on. Make room for him.
Apparently looking at the a potential handball for Victor Lindelof.
Go on.
Eriksen.
Oh, look, that's a good move. That for United.
His weaker foot there.
Was it a penalty check?
Oh.
It bounces on his fist into
he's
his
going to
face.
give that. I think he's going to give that.
This would be the worst time to concede a penalty.
I don't know. His hands, his arms in front of his body, though, isn't it? So I don't think that is, because I seen one yesterday. It was the same with Van Dijk. I know the Scousers get a lot of decisions, but I think if your arm's in front of your body, you might get away with it. And obviously, Stuart Atwell on the VAR, he won't do us any fucking favours. Honestly, he's a shocking referee.
It's still all to play for.
Some of that first half.
I think obviously the talking point will be David De Gea's error, and there's no way to sort of defend, conceding a goal that way. There wasn't a lot of effort, power on the shot at all. Took the slides to bobbles, but a goalkeeper, professional goalkeeper in any division should be making that save. Aside from that, West Ham haven't done much. If you look at United, Rashford's hit one post, Anthony's hit the other. I think a lot of stuff has been going through Anthony, and it's looked really good. Not been really any clear-cut chances. Fernandes has done 30-yard shots. Rashford's done 30-yard shots. We were talking before the game about Wout Weghorst's inclusion in the team and what he brings. And he has been bringing a lot in terms of, his industry and breaking out play, but away from the 18-yard box. And that's become evident because we've not been creating much chances in the box. So for me, I'm thinking that move Rashford into the middle now, maybe a Garnacho or Sancho on for Weghorst.
Adam, give us your thoughts.
I don't think we've created great chances. The shots we've had, we've hit the post twice. They've been half chances, really. We've not really dominated. I think defensively we've been fine. Obviously, they've had that shot, and the guy spilt it. But apart from that, I'm not really too concerned at the back. There's just nothing going forward at the moment. So I would do exactly the same. I would take Wout off, and I'd probably go for Garnacho. Bit more life, bit more directness, and he's got a bit more spark to him, hasn't he?
Andy Tate joins us. Andy, I could hear you shouting off screen. I heard words like arsehole, dickhead. If you can give us your thoughts on that half.
A really good, positive first half with chances and energy, and down to a clown. I'm like I say, mate, you want to back your boys, you want to back them. But
well, you said it before the game, didn't you?
You got to back them. You got to keep backing them. But there's only so much you can take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luke Shaw. I couldn't help myself. I don't know what I was doing. What did you do on Luke Shaw today as well? Oh, you can't legislate for that, mate.
No, you can't.
Rattle the cage, shake him up, drop him. I'm not interested. I want to get points.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't save a penalty. He can't do anything in a shootout. He's a good shot stopper, but 10 years down the line, mate, 12 years down, I'm sorry, man. We need new toys for next season. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. Brentford, long distance. Sevilla, calamity. Again today. So, he can't. It's his own fault. I'm not hating on him. It's death, man.
We want points. Like you say, we want points in a day, don't we? And if he's costing us the points,
and this is me me. But if you want me to go full fucking mental jacket, I will, but I'm not going to go and do it.
Martian in the super chat says, no, I don't want you to go full metal jacket.
It's only half time at the moment.
We don't want to get demonetised there, Andy. Martian says, the players are letting each other down every week lately. One game it's the forwards who can't score, the next it's the defence or the keeper with howlers. Yeah, it does seem to be a bit of a merry-go-round of who's to blame. You mentioned Luke Shaw for the last game for his mistake. I know he had a good game, but he cost us with that mistake. Today, David De Gea's made a mistake.
You're Man United player, and you see that. How do you feel? How do you feel looking at that goal? You see him all. It's like, I'm sorry. He goes in, I'm sorry. That sort can cause a divide in the dressing room. It's like last season. No accountability. Run away. You say, we got beat at Arsenal, we got beat at Liverpool. No accountability. And it's the same again, man. But at least we're playing with a spirit. We're creating good chances, and they shouldn't be winning. That's it. We should be winning, but it's the way of the world, and it's the way of the beast.
Right, you talk about changes. We mentioned changes. Obviously, we're not going to change the goalkeeper outside. Like that's.
I know.
No, I know you know. But I'm just saying because I think someone's suggesting that isn't going to happen. We're not. This isn't Louis van Gaal in a penalty shootout. What changes, if any, would you like to say?
I want to say Garnacho.
Yeah.
For Vegas. Vegas has been really well. That's an example to Martial to take note. Play with a bit of energy. Play with a bit of. Don't be shy. He's been good, but yeah, Garnacho or Sancho for the second half for Vegas. We need it because we have to get something out of this game.
No, I think Garnacho. I probably wouldn't give him the half. I'd probably give him half an hour just because he's not played, and I think he's only been training for a week, and he's only 18. I agree. I want to see him. I personally would probably get to 55,
You're probably
60.
right there because the cameo roles he's played on. If you think back to the derby and all
Fulham
that
as well. Fulham in the derby.
Yeah, Leeds as well.
Mate.
So it's like a bit of energy last 20-25 minutes. If we get a point out of this, I'd be more than relieved after that clown doing that.
Fergal McClement says, I've defended De Gea in the past, but I'm sick to death of him now. Obviously, sentiment that Andy is sharing.
Can't blame some of the comments.
Hate to be negative, says Guitarman84, but can see West Ham getting a goal from the restart. It's a mentality thing with this lot. Yeah, mentality. We don't seem to have it, do we? We do seem to have this trait. You remember there was a time, it wasn't that long ago, where we went behind, we bounced back. I think we had more goals from subs than any other team in Europe, or Europe's top 5 leagues, I should say. That seems to have gone out the window, doesn't it? We go behind now, we lose, or draw,
it's like,
at best.
Like if we concede with open play, we've come back. But when you concede to individual silly mistakes, what's the point?
Knight says, Bruno playing on the wings to accommodate that useless Vego, says, Knight's his name is. Yash says, Weghorst just there like a taller Mason Mount there to run. That's an horrible analogy there. That's obviously someone who doesn't like him. Hani Awe says, it's over for De Gea. You know one thing I will say about De Gea, right? Like, you see it sometimes with players and you think, it's horrible watching their career or their time at United degenerate into this when they've done a lot. And that is what's worrying me, is because I know we can all don't get too melodramatic because you're talking about the clean sheets this season and everything like that, but you don't want to see a player who has been a good servant end up becoming a player that keeps costing you games and everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've
seen it with a lot of players, like good players at United, who probably had 1 or 2 seasons.
Remember Rooney at the end of time, he got a bit of heat.
You have players that say 1 or 2 seasons past the sell-by date, and the crowd. Lee Shout was a good example. I used to love Lee Shout. I remember his last season was a stinker, and everyone was on his back. And I'd hate to see that happen with De Gea, but I think if this carries on,
I think he's already done it.
This is going to be the way it's going. Sam Z says, think getting a new goalkeeper is as important as a striker.
I agree.
Annoyed User 1 says, Andy, love your views and insights. I would love you to give today's halftime team talk. Well, go on then. Give us if you were to give your halftime team talk, keep it clean.
Yeah. Independent. Yeah, I would just say, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Forget what you've done. We'll deal with the mistakes and the silliness later. That's for another day and another inquest. But just keep doing what you're doing. Keep going forward. Keep believing. Positivity. And we'll dissect and crucify you later. Just get a result.
There you go. Positivity and we'll crucify you later. It's not very often you hear that in the same sentence. But there you've had Andy's team talk. I think that Ten Hag's going to be tearing strips off him. He said he wanted a reaction. He had the reaction from some of the players, but not just De Gea. We can look at De Gea, and obviously his mistake has cost us a goal. But there's other players this half I think can play better than they have been doing. It's just been showing us there. Oh God, you know what? I'm glad we haven't got commentary on. Peter Walton is a more fucking useless person on the telly than Peter Walton. I've yet to see him. Talking about this Victor Lindelof.
I think that's handball. A penalty. Honestly,
I don't know. He moves weird. He's got his arm in front of his body, but he kind of moves in a funny way. I think the fact his hand is still technically in front of his body has probably saved him.
It's how you interpret it. It's the body movement. It hits his hands and it's his head. Because if he's like Luke Shaw, hello, I'm over here. That's a pen, but it's the way the body reaction, isn't it?
It's a very awkward movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, new Premier League rule. Everybody must wear straight jackets. All defenders next season. Just use your head.
Bizarrely enough, one of David De Gea's only penalty saves was at West Ham last season, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Was it very late on?
Yeah. To give us the win. Do you remember? You don't remember?
Yeah, because
it must have been drunk.
It was Mark Noble, weren't it?
Yeah. Mark Noble came on to take it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Seems like an eternity ago, that. But Mark Noble came on, missed the West Ham to take the penalty. It was written in the stars, obviously. I think he was up there as one of West Ham's record-making appearance contributors, whatever you want to call it. Came on, he scored loads of penalties, scored a few penalties against United, and De Gea saved it.
Graham Souness. Why did he come on and take it? Why didn't he let the regular one come on? I remember Souness, yeah.
Apparently Peter Walton says it was a pen, so that obviously means it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like the other week when Liverpool player took out the Spurs, blood dripping from the head. Same scenario. Ireland on one of the other players a few weeks back. I remember Ireland did the same thing, and he said, "Oh, it's completely different. One is not the different. You know what I mean? You stick your boot in someone's head. It's just TV trying to twist it and trying to get a rate."
How would you see this game panning out, Andy? Are you confident we'll get a win? What do you see happening?
The way things are going, I'll just take a draw because I'm sick of getting drained, and you know what I mean. I don't want to go into a cup final, or have switch off the telly and watch if we carry on the way we're going.
Up like this.
It's not been easy to watch. Very frustrating, very annoying to see David De Gea drop an absolute clanger. There's no excuses for that one. Manchester United as well, coming off the back of the loss to Brighton. We need a win, or at least a point, especially with Newcastle losing today. This was our opportunity to go third. If we win today, I should say, it's not over yet. If we win, I think that's top 4 done. Fergal McLennan says, you think that was a pen of Lindelof? Because if we didn't get given that, if it was in the box. Yas says, we need De Jong in the summer. We do, but I think there's other priorities. Michael Hill says, I'm with Andy. I feel drained lately watching us. It's painful. Sameh Agrawal says, bro, the shots on target are wrong. We have had no shots on target. Didn't we? Did we not have a shot on target?
I thought we did we?
Oh, hang on. We're certainly not at 8. Yeah, I think I don't know where it's coming from there. Unless you count the post and the just wide of the goal is on target. In the general area of the region of the goal, then
we had 11 shots.
Probably that sounds about right. We've had loads of shots, but I don't remember Fabianski having to do anything, to be honest with you, other than take goal kicks.
Better finishing would have done it first half. Better finishing.
Yeah, that's true.
Great positions with Anthony, Ericsson, Bruno as well. Better finishing.
Linville B says, starting to feel like I did last season. Fed up with these players. Just Brandon says, bro, Ericsson's shot was saved by Fabianski. Well, it was, but I don't think that counts as 8. So it was off target 8. Off target was 8. There we go. We've cleared that up there. Producer Ethan still fuming from that result at St James's, so he's now just making up stats to get back at us. Ryan Singh says, I think Bruno playing on the left ruins our structure. Bruno naturally likes going into the middle, leaving the left side of our attack with nothing. I think he has been a bit more central today. I mean, he's not. He isn't
central today.
Yeah, I think Rashford's been on the left. Arrow Boss says De Gea is rubbish, so rubbish. I hope we buy David Raya from Brentford. Alistair Hancock says, done with De Gea. Sal Sathish the Raja Durai Reg, forgive me if I just butchered your name there, bro. Says Sancho in.
We need something, don't we?
We need something. So what minute are you making subs? Are you making them, you said half time, or did you say a little bit later?
I would say about the 60th minute.
Yep, and you're saying bring on Garnacho. I think the consensus seems to be Garnacho.
I think we do it now. I think we need to make...
Oh, you're going early?
I think so. We need to make a change now. We do it a lot. We make the subs at the wrong a bit too late.
Jay made a point before, is that when we've always responded with positive energy and that, but when we're making mistakes, people's like, it just drains you. And everyone's like, you know, why am I playing on the pitch with this?
Yes. Frustrating, to say the least.
It's like an ex, innit? Give me another chance. Give me another chance. Give me another chance. How many more chances do you want?
I think RH might be in the comment. A few people saying up the RH. So if Ryan Upper's in there, sorry if I've missed your chat, Ryan. Always good to see you. Well, we need to change something. We need to do something. Whether it's
we have to get something out of the game
or change.
We can't lose it. We have to get something.
Agreed. I think a point is especially where we are at the moment. A point would be really beneficial for us, especially Newcastle dropping points today. Gaining at least
home game cushion or not, we have to get something out tonight. That's it. Bottom line.
Home game cushion. We have to get something out tonight. That's the bottom line for Mandy 2. We're going to be here for Mandy again at full time. Make sure you are getting in the comments of the chat. Hopefully, we'll have given him something to cheer about between now and then. Jack Dickinson in the super chat says, all season has come down this. I've got me special Salem Witch Trials hat on.
I thought I put it on you. You're a ringleader, Jay.
Yeah.
Ringleader of people.
So
I think it suits.
Yeah?
I think so.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah.
There you like American politics.
It's my Abe Lincoln hat, as I think one of the lads said. Yeah. Abe. You call him Abraham, but I'm his mate, so I call him Abe. Jacoy Trot says, nice hat, Jay. Henrik Neverland says, abolish the monarchy. In with top hat, Jay. Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Coronation
there you
here
go.
At Stretford Paddock.
Yeah. If we win, I'll put that back on for me. For me review.
Well, we got 1,000 likes.
933.
I'll wear the hat for the rest of the show if we get 1,000 likes.
Right, well, we're 66 away, so that's in the post. Right.
I like Andy's spin on crucifixion.
Yeah.
I was putting a positive spin on crucifixion. Where was he when Jesus was
Jesus
around?
Christ, we just give it straight to Antonio from a goal kick.
No.
Shambles at the minute, Manchester United. There's no other way to describe it. 3 of them in the box for that goal kick, and we'll give it straight to Antonio. Pathetic. We've got to get a grip. Seriously.
I love Wout's work rate, but it's just...
He looks...
It's a bit too naive at the moment.
The shades of I've won a competition to play for United at times. Do you know what I mean? That's the worrying thing.
We call him Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish, yeah. You do get...
It's like when you can't get enough players and you've called your dad in to play 5-a-side. That's how he plays football. He's all a try, but his legs just ain't doing what his head tells him.
Can we have a bit of volume on the commentary, please?
It was very, of Ethan to add shots on target for us. He could see that we were down.
So he thought, because
Yeah.
he could have
cheer
changed
up.
the score for us.
Cheer us up.
Could have made it 2-1 to United. That would have been mint. So, I mean, 2-1 at United full time, perfect. Thanks, Eve. I just don't know. I don't know whether.
I'd have made sub straight away, mate.
Yeah. What would you have done?
Say what I think what everybody else is saying. But
That's played. I actually think Casemiro's been not sloppy, but he's not been his usual self. This game and against Brighton as well.
No, I think Casemiro's got off the boil a little bit from the high standards he had earlier on in the season.
No, I know he's not in the limelight. His job is an ugly job.
Yeah.
So if you don't see him, maybe that's a good thing.
no, but even before that, he was chipping in with goals and stuff like an assist. But
he made a few shoddy passes against Brighton.
I'm fearful to try and put a pessimistic look on the season that it could be that the Carabao Cup was our peak, because everything seems to no, since then a lot of players have tailed off for one reason or another, whether it's Casemiro coming back from suspension, the injuries we've had with defence, Rashford falling off with injury.
Yeah. Well, the energy we put into that game was phenomenal. We won the game by half time, didn't we, really? And since then it's just not been the same. It's not the end of the world. We've not been shocking. But when you look at the result now, the current score at the moment.
West Ham with a corner here.
I think you've got a good set piece record, West Ham, haven't they? Like we said before.
Yeah.
Fuck off, he's not diving about in the box. Honestly.
Oh no.
Save.
That's what you do as a West Ham player now. You just shoot every time you get a chance.
Did they look at how the defence was shaped for the goal? Because there's a lot of people on Twitter that sort of saying that the way the defence was lined up.
There's a few people saying, like, I don't know about a couple. I've seen a couple of people mention the fact that we had so many defenders around him and he got his shot off, whatever. But
I mean, there was 4 players around him, weren't there?
yeah.
See, that makes me
Anyone
so
gets
nervous.
a head on that.
I think he scored a couple of goals this season from corners.
What's Moyes' record like against United? I'm right thinking he's had a few, hasn't there?
It's not many.
Or
I
drop,
think.
or at least got draws.
League Cup last year, 1-0.
I think you give it 5 minutes and then we have to make a change. Because we're just second to everything at the moment.
Yeah, we are.
We're chasing the game.
I don't understand why you leave it though, because there was nothing to really suggest in that 45 minutes, especially going to the latter stages of the first half, that we were going to improve massively. You bring on a player like Garnacho, just it's straight away from the off. It sort of offers that more intensity and gives West Ham something to think about.
No, I know what you mean.
Whereas West Ham come out and see the same 11 that they faced, that we weren't on the ropes, we weren't playing brilliant. It'll fill them with confidence.
Seems like whenever we get the ball, we're panicking and we're not creating proper chances. It's like Anthony shooting just then. It was out of nowhere. He had 3 players around him.
It's desperation, though, isn't it?
A big throw in here now. He's got it as well.
What are you doing?
Off, you cockney bubble bastard!
Foul.
Give a
It's a foul.
foul.
Oh no, they're going to check this, aren't they?
It looks like he's had it in his
I think
chin.
that was a foul. That's a foul.
I don't know, you know.
I don't know. It looks like Casemiro's the one who tumbles him over.
It's not his arm.
His arm's up in it.
up there. I think you might just get away with that because his arm is up there.
Yeah.
You can't really do that. It's soft, but for me it's enough. Yeah, that was
That's the right decision.
that was
I would say that.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that was
No, he's not getting there, is he?
bad.
Come on. My lad Ellis is watching. Shout out to Ellis. Apologies for all the language. Some potty mouths on this channel.
Your dad being one.
I don't know what you mean. I never fucking swear. Chatting, shite. Yeah, it just adds to this air. I know that's a foul and it's given, but it just adds to the air of De Gea being a bit all over the gaff. I think it still does, and everyone's like,
Yeah, nerves.
yeah, it just does. And I think that's harsh because he's technically foul, but that could have not been given. Like, it wasn't a stinker, do you know what I mean? Where you go, that's blatant. It could have just gone, well, he's barely touched him there. So I feel like he's playing with someone who's lost his confidence, which is bizarre because he's been here for 12 years, but this is where we're at.
Come on now.
It's better.
He's got to be thinking of some changes.
Yeah, I think he's making some changes now. Anthony, sorry, Martial coming on.
Martial.
That is the only sub I would have told him not to do. I would even put Maguire on and put Shaw at left back rather than Martial come on.
The thing is, Martial's going to have to work as well because Vegas, while he's not been doing anything up front, has been tracking men back. So we've got to hope that Martial can do that as well as try and be a bit more of a goal threat.
I mean, we're assuming he's taking Wout off, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that's the obvious one. This is going to be a fucking horrible 40 minutes there, so 35 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah, it will be in more weight. It might work. We've not got anything happening up front, have we? We've got a missing link there. As much as he is tracking back, that's a good pass there.
Send him.
Go on, Wout. Oh.
First shot on target, was it?
Second, I think. Wout Weghorst with a shot from about 20 yards out. Pretty comfortable save.
It's a good move, though.
But yeah, better move.
There's been these glimpses when we've been hitting him on the break. I think there's been 3 or 4. I think Rashford had the first one in the first half and was charging through. But aside from that...
Oh, it's just annoying, isn't it? Fucking frustrating.
Did we get 1,000 likes there?
Yeah, we did.
Does that mean you put the hat on?
Oh, I'm going to put that on.
You wearing the hat? Fair play to you.
Oh, did they have a way around these?
I'm not sure.
There we go.
Bruno Mars, eat your heart out.
It's a better ball.
Passing's better these past 5 minutes. And he just jumps on the ball.
No, you're not getting it. And probably rightly so. I don't think there was much in it.
No, I don't think so.
He's just going down there and he's trying to look for something that's not there.
It is.
Here we go.
Verghost off, Marshall on.
I mean, I'm just glad we've made a sub. To be honest, I can't take you serious with that one.
It's alright. Not a lot of people can when I've got it off. Do you like a hat?
No, you never wear them.
Really? I like a beanie. I
I
don't own many like this.
Yeah, obviously that's an exception, but I've not worn a hat for about 15 years, actually. Yeah, I don't wear.
Do you wear hats?
I don't know, but they don't suit my head. I've got a nice set of hair, me.
Andy Taylor looked belted in this one.
Yeah,
I think so. Put his fist for it at the end.
I have got some class, you know.
I'm just saying, like with frustration.
So Verghost off, Marshall on. United have had a lot of possession last 5 minutes, 78% possession. But we've had one shot on target this half from Verghost, but we need to do more.
He's already sitting a lot further up Marshall, which is probably what we need at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's great that Verghost is tracking back. However, oh God, they're in here again.
Come off.
That could have easily been a goal again. It's on ball.
That was on ball, wasn't it? I think that's what Anthony Marshall's appealing for.
And just carry on playing the football, play to the fucking ref.
Better keep him up there now. That's much better.
Oh.
Oh, God. Come on, the energy's stepped up a little bit.
Joe Sercurio says, Scotty looking like the Artful Dodger.
Yeah, man.
Fuck off. Not from that comment, it was from that shot.
Did you see the Ant McPartlin video that was going on yesterday?
No, what is it?
Have you not seen it?
No, what's going on?
And find it. He was watching the King's coronation, but he couldn't. There were suggestions that he might have been doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, and he's going into shit. Oh,
really?
It's
I love a bit of that.
It's hilarious.
Let's go on Scotty's single. Send it to Lou. One sec.
Yes, so I've turned into a hat influencer.
These past 5 minutes we've been better. Not a lot better. It's just that final pass, it's not happening. It's a lot more fluid with Marshall on.
There he is.
There we go. You're like a magician.
My fellow Americans. Abe Tater at the help.
Abe Tater.
If you want to assassinate me, I am here. Have you ever seen that? The similarities between Abe's assassination and JFK? Have you ever seen it?
No.
He was shot in the Lincoln suite, and JFK was killed while travelling in his Lincoln.
Yeah.
Weird stats. Spooky as well.
Jay's into all that. Not assassinating presidents, just like American
What
politics.
do you mean conspiracies and all that? Yeah. I like it as well. As like, I love to go to Dallas and Dealey Plaza. I've been watching a lot of it. So many conspiracy theories.
Have you got any conspiracy theories as why United are getting beat 1-0?
I don't know. Certain goalkeeper. Let's just leave it
Yeah,
at
but
that.
why? We've still not scored though, have we?
No, the second half has not been good at all. It's like, say, Martial coming on, it's like the ex coming back into your life, and for God's sake, you again. I've been with you 3 times. Come on, I don't know what 4th and a 5th. Jesus. The sooner we get Vegas, the sooner we get all our new toys. The sooner we, whatever's off the field stuff needs to be cleared up and soon.
Yeah, we've got a few decent players to bring on, but it's just when do we do it? Because we're in the 60th minute now.
Oh, come on.
Ericsson's.
The thing is, we've started playing better, but so have West Ham.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Any comments to read out?
You read it. I say I would read, but yeah.
I'll butcher everyone's names.
Lee Elliott said Martial's scared to sprint.
I don't think I've ever seen him do a full sprint.
No, I can remember the sprint, his first game against Liverpool when he scored.
Oh, yeah.
7 years ago, that was his one and only sprint.
No movement up front. Needs to go wide, stretch the back line, said John Whitehead.
I think that's where Shaw might be a bit more beneficial on the left. But then you've got to bring the fridge on, haven't you?
The fridge.
What do you reckon to this from Redman7? Love you guys and really like Eric Ten Hag. But he's been escaping due criticism for far too long. There's been countless performances that Ole would have been crucified for that Ten Hag doesn't get anything. Do you think there's been certain performances this season?
Definitely. I think the difference between Ten Hag and Ole is Ten Hag knows and he'll admit. And you at the same time, it's his first season. He's put so many things in place at the club already that where you go, okay, we'll take a few bad results.
Yeah. Well, the fact is we're in the FA Cup final, we've already won a cup.
You know there's going to be...
With
Ole, there was always no accountability and it was all power. And these players can get away with murder, but there's going to be accountability in the summer. Whatever happens, whether we make Champions League or not, right, you're out, yeah. You're in, you're out, you're in. That's it. Like, I don't want to go. Well, did you help us achieve what we need to achieve? Yeah. Well, it's not my fault. Well, the mistakes you made, the mistakes you made, any other walk of life in business, you lose a deal.
This is a good point from Nathan Lee Richards. Can anyone see a pattern of play from us? Constant stop-start passing, receiving backs to goal. Same every week. We rely so much on Bruno and Rashford. And if they aren't in the mood, we do struggle. Yeah, you were saying earlier on about it being like we're trying to play counter-attacking football. Sooner or later, you can only play. That was Ollie's downfall as well, because he was only playing counter-attacking football and didn't really offer anything else. So can you see anything into that about like the lack of style of play, especially recently since the cup final?
Yeah, I can see that. Well, like you say, even say from Christmas, we were always in games. We were always like say, even if we was getting beat, we're always have a style of play to come back and try and get some out. But it's this. First half is reminiscent of Brighton on Thursday. It's just the same.
But it's like Brighton on Thursday, Seville before that. You know,
it's like I say, Tottenham as well, isn't it? The second half, it's just there was nothing there.
Well, before Christmas, we go 1-0 down and we.
Ladies won't come for Harry Maguire's not going to get any criticism on this, is there? But he's got.
Do you think he'll go at the end of the season?
I think he will. He's. Like say,
I think it's probably best.
We're missing Martinez out. We're missing Varane, and it's like we had no leaders last year, and this year most of our leaders are injured.
They're just doing everything better than us. Or we're doing everything worse than him. That's probably the better way to say it.
We're actually playing worse in this half, I think, especially the last 10 minutes than we did in the first.
I bet Jim Ratcliffe's watching this. Oh, Shake. I better watching this, like Gordon Bennett. We need some answers come next week. We really do. Yeah. All right. Option A, Champions League. Option B, no Champions League. There's 2 options in front of both Dev. They've got 2 options in a briefcase each, haven't they? A or B. What are you going to flick to get out your briefcase? So yeah, there's going to be contingency plans for the next couple of weeks.
Come on now.
Come on. There's a draw. Come on, there's a goal in this at least. Come on, United.
It's fucking bad pass,
isn't it?
Don't. Bruno, seriously, what was the point?
We need another sub here.
Yeah, we need something.
It's too flat.
Too heavy, that pass.
Yeah, we need some Garnacho now. Like, I would give him 20, 25 minutes. Just like say, a point here would be quite, in the circumstances, good.
In some ways, looking at this season, I'm not massively surprised where we are and we're looking that we're going to be in a fight for the top 4. Because it was always going to be a case of we knew our first team players were going to improve the performances, but it was how far we were going to be able to push throughout the season before having to rely on squad rotation. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but if you look at players like Casemiro, Fernandes today, Rashford, Eriksen, who have been sort of the ones we've been reliant on, nobody else, we haven't got anyone to fill in and pick up the mantle.
No, we haven't.
Ethan's just trying to make me look more beautiful. How's that going, Ethan? Oh, thank you very much. He's obviously drunk. Mike Plays Poker said, we look shattered and sloppy and withdrawn and clueless. It's shambolic-like.
It doesn't feel like there's a style of play that we're trying to execute.
So
it's desperation. Everything is just...
But with this sort of mentality going into a cup final,
I'm extremely worried for it.
It's like going into the shark pit. What's the point? It's like diving with a great white. What's the point? Seriously.
2 subs here now.
There's quite a lot of people like digging in on Ten Hag though. Morton Hansen says Ten Hag is no better than Ralph Ragnick.
Oh, jog on you tart. Jog on you tart. Telling you, man. Jesus.
It looks like Sabitzer and Sancho were warming up then to come on. Both took the bibs off.
I know Jay was saying before the game that he still thinks he might drop points today but still end up in the top 4. Given this performance, are you confident that we can still win in all our remaining games? Chelsea get a bounce after playing so bad for a while. We've still got to play them. Liverpool win one of their next games. I think they got equal in points for us and we've got a game in hand.
I thought this was going to be one of the easier games.
Really out of the ones that...
Yeah. I know we've got 3 home games.
We've got Leicester who come and fighting for...
We haven't got Leicester. We've got Bournemouth. Bournemouth, Wolves, Chelsea, and Fulham.
I mean,
you think now Frank Lampard's he's a Champions winner, isn't he? Because he's saved them. He's a hero to him now. But Chelsea might turn up. You know what they're like.
Jean-Pierre Shields is congratulating you on losing some weight, Andy.
Never knew I had any. I always knew I was a fat sod.
Andy Tate lost some weight. Well played, mate.
Yeah.
Rhyming it for you.
Like Greg Steak Bakes. On the wine, on the decline.
Oh, no. Not a clue. Just guessing.
I can't wait for my holiday. I'm going away next week. Week out of this bloody craziness.
Is that when you're going down south?
Yeah, down south.
You still got to watch this shite, haven't you?
You know what? I might switch off my phone next Saturday. Just enjoy just enjoy family time. Next week, just enjoy walking along the beach, as I don't say.
That's it, man. Switch off. Wolves on Thursday. We've got
Wolves on Saturday.
It's no midweek game. That's all right.
So if you don't worry about the football, something happens, then you're like, wow, we've actually done it. It's like, yeah, switch off your phone over the weekend. You don't. I didn't expect that result. It's like next weekend, the next Sundays, up at the top end of the league as well. So it's like, wow, something could happen next Sunday.
What's the gold one? Is that Super Chat? So Yeety Yams, how are people blaming Eric, missing our centre-back pairing, don't have a striker who can score, played so many games, we are legger, yet these plastic fans blame Eric and forget the situation we are in.
Yeah, but it's nice to... Well, it will be nice these next couple of games to have a rest midweek.
Some time off, yeah.
I think that will really, really benefit us.
Yeah, I think this will be our first... The next Saturday will be only our third 3:00 game of the season, which is a pathetic thing, a pathetic stat, because we've only had Crystal Palace and might be actually only 2, actually. Bournemouth will be the third one. So 3, and you look at City, Liverpool and everybody else, they played at 3:00 this season.
I mean, that's another bonus that don't really get talked about when you play Champions League football. You know, you're playing on Wednesday night and you get a bit of a better gap.
If we drop out and go into Europa, I'd rather just forfeit. I won't play in Europe next season.
Yeah, we don't want that, do we?
No.
I think Ericsson will go off here. And I don't know. It looks like Sancho's coming on.
I'm trying to be positive for Sancho, but he's
I think he'll take Anthony
got
off here.
to up his game.
He needs that confidence, and we've said this so many times.
Yeah, he just needs the confidence. Like, you can't keep playing in the safe zone all the time.
Oh, come on, De Gea.
Seriously, man. I will be at 11 o'clock tonight.
Good block.
Ericsson looks done, man.
I think it's time for some fresh legs out.
Yeah, I think
he's got to show, man. This is
always coming.
It's offside.
Oh,
seriously.
That's the second disallowed goal for West Ham. It was a nice work move, but a lot of it's been coming down that left-hand side.
Lassie's on the right there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's offside.
It's too easy though, even if he is onside.
Yeah. Moyes.
Get these subs on, man.
I mean, private, like, I hope, let's say, in the dressing room later, there's some finger pointing. Seriously.
There needs to be.
Yeah, these players can't run and hide anymore, man. The ones that we were there now from last season, you can't hide, mate.
Why do you think he takes Anthony off so much? I don't think he's played
I'm not too sure.
He's not finished many games, has he?
Anthony starts with energy. Sancho just finishes with, I'm here. That's it.
I mean, at least we've made the subs. It's positive.
What have we got now?
I'm still trying to be positive.
Just over 15 minutes left. It's still 1-0 to
What's
West Ham.
that thing,
1 point wouldn't be the worst result.
Nothing on earth like being a red. That's what it says at Old Trafford, isn't it? There's nothing on earth like being a red. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
they will absolutely cripple you and give you absolutely enjoyment.
People are shouting for, bring Maguire on and put him up front.
I remember that, didn't against Real Sociedad, didn't
he? He scored, didn't he, as well?
Not last season, the season before, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Boca. Everyone has been bad since March. Before that, well, since the cup final, I think there's been too many of them cover themselves in glory.
Yeah, you win a one cup and you think you're Johnny Big Balls, don't you?
Johnny Big Balls. I like that.
Johnny Balls, it's Billy No Mates, isn't it?
Johnny Big Balls and Billy No Mates. As a crime fighting duo.
Yeah. What would the city be called? What would the city or the town? Which town would they protect?
Rory Alcorn said, I am sick to death of this club, laughing emoji, top 4 is gone. It's not at all. We still have, if we just win our remaining games, we'll still get top 4, although this performance doesn't fill you with the most confidence that we're going to do it. A draw wouldn't be a bad result at all, given the way this fixture's gone. Jay's back and joined us now. You all right?
Yeah, it's good to see things have improved since I went to the toilet.
Yeah. Happy with the subs?
Not what I'd have done, but again, I don't know.
What would you done?
I wanted to see Alejandro Garnacho come on,
I mean,
but I don't know how fit he is in terms of being able to play, minutes. I know he's obviously fit enough to be on the bench, but he might just be sort of
away form again.
It's just unreal, isn't it? I mean, we've gone from beating all the teams in the bottom half to losing to all the teams in the top half away to now we're losing to the teams in the bottom half as well, which is just awful, and it's coming at the wrong stage of the season.
The silver lining being out of the next, was it last 4 games?
Yeah,
we got 3 of them at home.
I still fancy us to get. I said this before. I said I thought we'd lose today, and I know we're not lost yet. But I still fancy us to get top 4. But it's going to be a horrible week.
Is it 4 games? Yeah.
You've got 4 games.
So we need to get 9 out of 12.
Go on. Oh,
Great
safe.
effort. Did really well there.
Yeah, 9 out of 12.
Yeah. Because I think Liverpool
They can only get
technically
number 9.
10 points behind us. Yeah. Oh. He's strong.
Yeah,
there,
he's done well
Marcus.
to get to that.
Rick
creeping in.
Kimotho says, our forwards are doing nothing, to be honest, and that only magnifies the mistakes the defence and De Gea make.
I mean,
I just think
it doesn't help when you're not getting any goals.
Oh,
He jumped too soon then.
oh,
He just punched him in the head, did he?
give it. Oh,
We got a penalty?
No.
I thought he was pointing then. It only seems like Bruno's calling for that one, for the penalty. No one else is bothered.
That's a good point. West Ham's attacks look so much more decisive and well drilled. Our ones look blunt and aimless. Now, given the names in West Ham's attack compared to Manchester United's attack, is that a criticism that we can lay at the manager?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. I still feel there's an element of. I keep going back to this, and I'll say it so I'm fucking blue in the face. But when you lose your top goal scorer from last year, and your other main striker is out for the season, in January you've got a chance to rectify it. Now Arsenal went out and they spent 20 odd million or whatever on Leandro Trossard, because they realised they were in a title race and Jesus was out. We were fighting on 4 fronts. And the best we could do for this manager was give him a player on loan from Burnley. He wasn't even getting in Burnley's team. He was on loan at Besiktas from Burnley. And Burnley were happy for us to have him. I mean, it's just... I'm not blaming it on Weghorst. It's not his fault. Well, that is amazing to me, that. Like, if we'd have gone out and gone, right, there's a chance of, winning some trophies, silverware, free trophies and solidifying top 4. If we go out and spend 30, 40 million, it's worth it because it brings in Champions League football next season. We're in a very good position. If we don't, there's a chance we won't get it. Now, whilst I still think we will, it's not open and shut.
Stone, is it?
We might not. And that's going to cost you, 60, 70, 80 million? Just the simple maths. The only signings we made in January were Marcel Sabitzer on loan and Wout Weghorst on loan. It's not enough.
The makeshift signings.
We knew we'd lost Ronaldo. We knew that Martial was injured, and yet we didn't do anything about it. And we were linked with João Felix.
Yeah.
Now I know he's not exactly
I'm glad.
No, he's not set the world alight at Chelsea, but he's a player. I think he's got a couple of Premier League goals, and you know who he is. Right. You know what he's about.
Okay then, Jay. I get that point, and I agree with you wholeheartedly that we should have invested more in the centre forwards. But if you look at this performance today and look at how well West Ham have played, especially in the second half, coming down the flanks much better than Manchester United have, and have had 2 goals disallowed, where I don't think we've created much in the second half. If you look at how well Brighton were drilled, why are United not playing that like football like that? Whereas I was saying earlier on, it's very sort of patchy.
I think there's an element of the personnel aren't performing how they can. I think
that's the manager then, isn't it? That's down to the manager.
I mean, I presume so. I presume he's not. I don't think the manager's telling him to go out and do that. If he is, he won't sack him. If he's saying go out and just run into holes,
right? But a lot of people are saying
who fit up aimlessly.
But a lot of people are saying when Solskjaer was dishing out the sort of performances that we've seen post Carabao Cup, he was getting pelters for it. So what's the difference?
The difference is Eric Ten Hag's won a trophy. Solskjaer didn't.
So he gets a grace, and it's only his first season.
It's his first season. We finished 6th last season, and we were all over the gaff. We were mentioning players that have improved under him before. There was a few contenders, and you can see the games are catching up. We weren't this bad earlier on in the season. I know we had some bad results, especially away from home, but on a consistency level, this is probably as poor as we've been now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Eric Ten Hag doesn't deserve blame. He does. Of course, he's a manager. But I think a lot of it is mitigating circumstances. Some of the circumstances has not been backed properly in January. I said that at the time. I've not changed my mind.
But that personnel, the players that play for Manchester United are better than the players that are playing for West Ham.
Some of them aren't. Wout Weghorst is not better than Mikel.
That's one.
I'm sorry, he's not. But It's not just a case of we've got a better starting 11, so we got a better starting 11 than Brighton. We had a better starting 11.
Well, that's what
I personally think we've got a better starting 11 than Arsenal.
That's my point. If you put Lewis Hamilton in the best car, he wins the F1 all the time, right? So you got Ten Hag with a better team that should be operating better than they are.
But that's my point. I'm making there are mitigating circumstances. Like some of these players aren't playing as well as they are. Casemiro's not a bad player, but he's playing badly. That's not on the manager. Would you drop Casemiro?
But it was under Solskjaer. That's the point.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Wasn't it?
Part of the problem, we had McFred, right?
Don't you dare!
Oh, you're saying Casemiro is the same as McFred? He ain't. Come on, bro. You know he isn't. I'm not gonna have the Casemiro's at the same level as McFred. Is he fuck? Like you can't legislate for a player like Casemiro, like Eriksen, to that degree. Not performing. I don't think that's the manager's fault that they're not playing as well as they can. And I don't think he's wrong to pick him, to be honest with you. I'd have been baffled if he'd have dropped him. I think they've got to step up. Yes, the manager takes some responsibility, but it's not all on him. David De Gea, you go, okay, David De Gea's had a stinker. Again, what's the manager got to do? In January, we lost Martin Dubravka. That's how bad it is. We had a player who was Newcastle's third choice. We lost him, so he brought in Jack Butland. Now, Jack Butland, 10 years ago or 6 years ago, he was England's golden boy, whatever. He ain't there now. I still feel that this manager needs more backing. He does.
Would we still be having this conversation?
How bad this team is.
Would we still be having this conversation if it was 0-0 though? Do you think?
But I think
it's a mistake at the end of the day.
I don't think this game isn't an isolated incident, is it? Seville, Brighton.
They've gone 1-0 up really early. They're set back now. They don't need.
The thing is, right, my attitude to the manager's not changed because my attitude towards this game hasn't changed. I said before we'd lose this game and win our last 4. I've not changed my mind now we're losing this game. I still think that. Yeah. I said on the preview and before we went live, when we went live, we'll lose today. I think we'll lose. And I still think we will, but we'll win the next 4. So I still believe that. Yeah. And I think if we get top 4 and a trophy, no one will be, question the manager. I think the thing that worries me, the thing that I'm not as confident about, is us not getting turned over in the final against City.
Yeah. Lee Davies said Scotty having an argument with himself. We have a trophy, an FA Cup final, and top 4. No, Scotty's having is posing a question for a debate based on the questions that I'm getting off here. I agree with Jake, and that's a rarity.
To be fair, you could have an argument with yourself, though. You've got that ability.
All right. It's nice.
It's a skill that you've got.
I don't put that on my CV.
I did listen, I'm not saying Eric Tarr gets a pass. You don't get a pass for losing if we lose this 9 away games as Manchester United manager. Of course you don't. He's got to take responsibility, and he's got to remember as well, new owners come in, they might do a Todd Burley and go, well, listen, we want to bring in, Mauricio Pochettino or whoever. So, he's got to make himself almost unsackable, and he ain't going to do that if we finish 5th. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And lose a cup final to City.
Yeah,
right. And with, and sorry, producer Ethan, with Newcastle getting beat today,
Yeah, not took advantage of that, have we? And
we never do, though, do we?
It's another reason to be annoyed. I still feel that it is a full week in it between now, not 6 days between now and the, is it
Wolves?
Wolves, thank you, at Old Trafford.
Come on now.
It's just there's
the final ball.
It has been incredibly frustrating.
It's not been flowing this game at all. It's been very, very stop-start, which is partly our fault for giving it away so many times. But there you go again. It's a pass straight to one of the centre halves. Oh, and the breaking.
West Ham just seem to want it a hell of a lot more.
It shows that he's had a stinker out of the attacker because there was a lad running down the left that he just ignored.
Oh, wide, look.
Oh, I thought I was dropping in for a sec there.
It's a good tackle by Shaw.
Was it Ben Rama there on the left?
The breaking's not fluid enough. It's slow. We should have a big chunk of extra time here. Added time from the injury.
I think John Ward on the super chat said the difference between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Erik ten Hag is also the way they play. For years there is structure and build-up play and so much more.
I mean, it speaks volumes we're talking about Ole. I think the thing to remember with Ole is for 2 years we did well in the league. Third and second is not bad. It's the last season where the wheels fucking came off massively. And if we finish third, I'll be happy this season, to be honest with you. I don't think we will. I think fourth.
Well, you'd have took top 4 before the start of the season, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we're chasing the goal and bringing Delo on. I can't hear the Europa anthem already. Hey, chat George Halls.
Do you know what? I can't even entertain the idea of us losing the fucking top 4 to the Scousers and then City potentially.
Considering how shit they've been for half a season.
So 2 substitutions there. Delo on for Wan-Bissaka, Fred on for Malacia.
This was the man you were saying wasn't as good as Casemiro, coming on now to score the equaliser.
I think it's debatable. They're both Brazilian, aren't they? So, you know.
Listen, this is a watch-along where we compared Weghorst to Harry Kane. If I'm comparing Fred to Casemiro, it's only right.
Weghorst is warming up Harry Kane's spot for him. Hey. And Fred's
That's what Fred was. Fred was warming the spot for Casemiro.
Oh, man. Well, there's a great start from Diogo Dalot. He's just give it straight to Declan Rice.
The game moved out of the way of that one, didn't it? That is shocking.
Here's a good point. And I apologise if I get your name wrong. Shrik Charan Chandramola. He said, in all this negativity, I think overall Lindelof and Shaw have been so good. It's true, really, isn't it? I think there was a lot of fear. Lindelof maybe not so much this game, but they can't be blamed for our offence falling off a cliff.
I think they've both been all right today. They've not.
There were big shoes to fill, you know. You can lose one or two out of Martinez and Varane.
You mentioned about the we've been outplayed again, and you talk about the attack, you know, from Brighton and then this.
Yep.
But the midfield battles we've lost in both those games, I feel. I don't think we played particularly well in midfield against Brighton. I don't think we have today against West Ham. I feel like Declan Rice has pretty much ran the show.
He has.
And
he's been brilliant.
Before the game, I was saying I thought he was all right. I didn't think he's worth the sort of money that's being suggested on him. That's never a fucking.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a foul for us.
Casemiro's not been the same place since come off them suspension.
No.
Yeah, Uncle Dubious there said Rice playing a worldie, intercepting everything.
He isn't a fucking hell. He had a good game at Old Trafford last season, to be fair. In fact, not last season, this season. I know he got a bit of stick. I thought he did alright. People saying, "Oh, he was shy." I thought he did alright.
There's just nothing on, is there? It's painful to watch.
Andy Taylor makes a good point. Lose so much with Shaw as centre back. We know he's mint there. It's true. I think we do miss Shaw flying down the wings.
I agree.
We do. 8 minutes.
Come on. 8 minutes you've got.
8 minutes.
Come on, we can get a goal here.
Enough time. A draw would feel like a fucking win today. And as bad as this has been, I'd rather watch this than that bleeding King's Coronation Festival.
This will be the fucking peak weekend for West Ham fans, won't it? The Coronation.
Yeah.
Go on!
Oh! Anthony Martial versus a 1-2 there.
That's probably our best move of the game.
It was, wasn't it? He didn't really. He ate perfect for the keeper to save, didn't it?
It's good football, that. He's had to go that side.
Defender's done enough here, hasn't he?
He's had to go that side.
I think the defender's just fucking done enough, blocking his shot across the goal off. Yeah, get off the fucking pitch. There's something wrong with you.
That's all I'll be doing now for 8 minutes.
Oh! Martial there, did that hit the post or just go wide? Or just cross the goal, sorry.
Didn't it?
That's a fucking foul, Andamar.
United got the bit between the teeth now. Come on, there must be something in this last 10 minutes.
Corner.
7. Corner.
Come on.
Oh, he's got to be doing better.
He's got to
than
better.
that.
That's
That's
awful,
got to be
that.
on target. That. How's it? Martial, the header at the near post. Anybody gets anything on that should be in.
Played. Good tackle. Oh, that's a good pass as well.
Right, think about what you're going to do here, lad.
Well played.
Come on, United.
The annoying thing is, we've been playing football for 92 minutes, 6 minutes left, and then they start to put it into another gear.
Yeah, that you're right.
There's no excuse. There's no
playing like
no
this
excuse
from
for
the
it.
start, or at least
No
as
excuse.
soon as we went behind. What are you doing there with that? Fucking hell.
Ball out. Oh, Fernandez offside. Yeah, if you all stick around, you'll all be automatically redirected for the review, which will be really cheery. 6 minutes.
We can do this. We can.
Come on.
We need that positivity, don't we?
Fucking hell. Declan Rice, player of the match.
Yeah,
No surprises
No,
there.
I
not
think
at
that's
all,
right
but
for us, so,
this
isn't
is
it?
a West Ham team that haven't won for 3 games. It's the West Ham team that got 35 points.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah,
When
it's
you've
the
not won for
West
3
Ham
games,
team that
you got to play United at home.
We're in a relegation battle until United seem to do the charitable thing and give them 3 points. So
Right, you've heard the fucking whistle.
Come on now.
Ask him a lot of him there. He had no chance for
Throwing
that.
them all.
Absolutely no chance. Right, pick a pass here now. Fucking move.
Oh,
Absolutely.
God.
Sums it up.
Moisey bringing 2 more subs on to wind down the time. You think West Ham deserved the win?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
100%. I know it was a mistake by here where we went like that's cost us, but in the second half they've been much better West Ham than we have. They look up for it, winning individual battles all over the gaff. And you were talking about the coherence in attack as well. I mean, a lot of it's been counter attacks, but they look like they've got a bit of a clue where up until these last 10 minutes, United haven't.
Yeah.
And it's just too little, too late. It was someone pointing out in the chats before. We were 1-0 down at like the 40th minute or whatever, and we were just passing it around like we were 1-0 up. And you think, I wouldn't mind if you had like you're having a season where we score a lot of goals. You can understand that sort of complacency, but we're not.
No.
So you think, why are you acting like, oh, don't worry about this, we'll be okay? Go for it, man. Do you know what I mean? You should be attacking him. And Scott, you made the point about they're not as good as us. Like defensively, who've they got? Run at him. Get at him.
No, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
This
Like, I
way,
know Cresswell's, a decent player, and they've got 1 or 2 others who are all right, but it's not like the fucking prime AC Milan. Just run at him, get at him.
At this rate, you'd rather lose 2-0, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
When we've gone for it.
See a bit of fight. Awful touch there, Jadon Sancho.
We have 11 points to get in 4 games, someone said.
What?
I don't know.
No, we've
We
not.
only need 9, don't we?
We need 9, don't we?
2 minutes to go.
Didn't need the low cross there.
Come on, get it. Don't. No. Gotta go in.
This is it. This is the fucking chance.
Oh, well played. Shite.
Fuck's sake.
That's why you need Anthony on the pitch. That sort of opportunity, wasn't it? Bruno cut in from the right.
Another one as well. It's done this, isn't it?
Now, Moyes is pulling loads of subs out.
Yeah. Just winding it down, winding the clock down. This fucking week's gonna be horrible.
Worse than the Brighton game?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Overall, yeah, I think Brighton, just the last kick of the game almost won it with that handball. At least we dug a result out almost here today.
And Brighton very well organised, and you probably would have took a draw.
Honestly.
The fact that we went 1-0 down really early to a mistake and there was no response, that's more damning, isn't it, than losing in the
No
last
fight
injury
at all.
time.
I've not seen fight from anyone this game. They looked beat as soon as the goal went in.
Oh,
that's got to be that. It's a free kick to West Ham. Stick around. We're going to have a review, me and Scotty, after this. This will this video or this live will send you straight to that. So we'll have a review.
Can't wait for that. Are we going to try and spin it so it's really positive?
No.
Things to look forward to the FA Cup
This
final.
isn't MUTV.
Well, West Ham fans enjoying themselves there.
Eve, I've just sent you a message for the thumbnail. Oh, sorry, WhatsApp's it here.
Long journey back in it. There we go, it's done.
Right, well that says it all. United lose for the second time this week. 1-0 again, this time at West Ham. David De Gea with a bit of a clanger, but even so, there was 60 minutes or whatever left of the game to play, and we just didn't do anything. Adam, just before we let you go, give us your thoughts.
No fight. As soon as we went 1-0 down, didn't see a reaction from anyone. I mentioned that before. I'm a little bit worried about top four, to be honest with you.
A little bit worried. Scotty, as well, I know we're going to have the review. Just give us your thoughts quickly.
Yeah, it's another disappointing performance. We were talking about the Brighton game, but the fact that we went 1-0 down, the story will all be revolving around David De Gea's mistake, which, inexcusable, but the fact there was no response from anybody at all just makes me a little bit worrisome for the next 4 to 5 weeks.
A little bit worrisome. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Manchester United, almost, we're opening that door for Liverpool to get top 4. We're going to be back in about a minute, so stay around. Me and Scotty will have a live review. We'll be getting into your comments and your chat as well, as United start to have a bit of a wobble at the worst time. That's been David Scott. You know where to find him on your socials, at ARGH_kid?
No, just kid.
Just kid. No underscore.
No, not at kid. ARGH kid. People know where to find me.
Okay.
Talk about his band.
No underscore then, no?
No.
Right. There's a link to Scotty in the chat.
Well,
Adam, where can people find you?
You can find me at shade.mcr on Twitter and Instagram.
What was that?
Right. Right. Go and find out Adam.
I'm going home
as well. He's going home. I don't blame him. I think United players went home before the fucking kick-off, to be honest with you. We're back shortly. Don't forget as well to hit like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.